Hello, and welcome to another episode
Hello.
of the DrawBomb Show,
It's the DrawBomb Show.
exclusively on Mixer.
That's right.
Is that where we are now?
We might be on D Live. I don't know. I haven't looked lately.
Well, wherever you're watching us from, that's where we are exclusively. Leviathan Den
Did you
just
fart
subscribed
just now?
again. No, I did, but silently. But what you heard was Leviathan Den subscribing for 8 months straight.
My
Thank you,
goodness
Leviathan
gracious.
Den. You're the real
So
deal.
many months.
Yeah, that's like
Real
more
MVP.
than 7 months.
It is more than 7 months. I'm pretty. Wait. Nah, it's not quite there yet.
Are you using Terryology?
That's right. I consulted the crystals, and they gave me back a resounding 1 times 1. It does not equal 1. So the crystals never lie.
Well, regardless, it's a long time to subscribe to this show. We appreciate it, Leviathan Den. You're
Yeah.
awesome.
How could
Extra
you do
attack,
such a thing to your wallet?
Extra Attack, Wamelon, Leviathan Den, all here right off the get-go. Welcome
Righty.
back for another week.
Welcome all of you. Welcome one. Welcome all. Let's just jump right into it.
Jump into it.
What have you been up to?
This is it's been a pretty uneventful week for me. I have been working a lot. I did go to a children's birthday party, but other than that, great time. Not much new this week.
Now, when you were at this children's birthday party, were
Yes.
you the host or were you the guest? What was the?
I was.
Were you the
I was-
child?
No, I was.
We're all children of
I
somebody.
was not given a gift bag when I got there, so I'm assuming that I don't. I'm not. I'm
You didn't
one
get a
of the
sweet
adults.
tote.
No, it was my niece's birthday. She is
Oh,
2.
okay. 2 now. The terrible 2s.
Yeah.
Was there a lot
And
of?
God,
did a
she
lot
is
of,
just terrible. Sick
She's
of
the
her.
worst, isn't she?
She's like, I'm 2,
that kid.
and it's like, shut up, you grow up. Grow up
Jesus
already.
Christ, you baby. Were there a lot of people there making jokes like, "Oh boy, watch out for those terrible 2s"? Because I feel like that's a thing. Like people always
I
joke
think-
about like.
I think the terrible 2s are actually kind of a real thing, so it wasn't so much a joke as people was like giving their condolences to my brother and my sister-in-law. They're like,
They're
it's about to suck.
yeah, they're called the terrible 2s because that's around the time that like the kid learns the word no, right? Like that's when they start
That's
asserting.
part of
their
it. I think it's just a
independence.
lot of like they're functional enough that they can demand things and move around freely and refuse to do things, but they also haven't learned like morality and like
Right.
not being an asshole. So they're just like
just
psychopaths
sort of-
basically, but fortunately they're small enough that you can still manage them. It's kind of like how a house cat would be deadly if they were like the size of like a tiger.
Right. They would just
Like-
like kill you because they have no concept of like, this is my
Or
human.
anything, just to
Yeah.
see what happens, just because they want to see what it would be like. Yeah, so
Yeah,
so
they
kids I think are pretty much psychopaths, but fortunately they're small, so we can overpower them.
Yeah. So if they start to get ornery, you can just chuck them out a window.
You can. I don't think you necessarily should, but it's
Why
never
not?
off the table.
Whenever I was a young lad, anytime I acted out of lines,
Just ran
I
out
was
the window.
defenestrated faster than you could say the word defenestration.
And I don't say that word often,
It's my favorite word. I would go as far as to say that. It's
What
because
does it mean?
it's
To
a
be
word
thrown?
to be thrown out of a window specifically.
Oh,
That is
specifically a window.
defenestration.
That's great.
Yeah, that's why it's my favorite word, is because it's like such a specific. It's like you know how like other languages will have those words that are like Schadenfreude, where it's like a very specific feeling, like taking pleasure in somebody else's pain.
Yeah.
Defenestration is like that for me. It's just such a specific word, and you don't get a chance to use it enough.
Well, I'm glad we gave you a chance here to use it. What floor did you live on growing up?
Oh, the first floor.
Oh, good. Coop.
I'm alive still. I mean, shit. If they were throwing me out of a window, like I was like 3 floors up or something like that, we'd be telling a different story here. But you know, first floor, you land on the grass, you dust yourself off, pick the glass out of your teeth, you're good to go.
Oh, they throw you through a closed window?
Oh yeah, they don't open it. Just right through.
Seems expensive for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Terrible 2s only last about a year or so.
Yeah, so it's just an expensive year, and then you move on from that. Let's see. I got some comments in the chat. Leviathan Den says, I'm going to be shipping your record here on Wednesday. Sorry I haven't been able to the past couple of days.
How dare you dilly-dally on this free gift you are sending me, Leviathan Den. You should hang your head in shame. No, it's totally fine that you haven't mailed it out yet. Take your time. It's no rush.
Wamelon says, "Gonna shower and I'll join you." Well, you know,
oh boy.
We'll see you when you're clean.
Why don't we join you in the shower? Whoa.
We still need to do our jacuzzi stream.
We do.
Once we get enough.
Were you the one who said I should do like a Yakuza and jacuzzi stream?
Yeah, I said do that.
Jacuzzi.
Yeah, I was, and I stand by that. I would
100% do that. Like I would have no qualms.
All right, we'll have to throw a little donation bar at the bottom so people can help make that happen. Because jacuzzis, last time I checked, they aren't free, and I was really surprised by that.
No, my parents did used to have a hot tub, but they got rid of it a long time ago.
Most people who have hot tubs get rid of them eventually because they're like, and I'm sure our pool expert Leviathan Den may have something to say about this, but there's a lot of annoying upkeep, and you don't really use them a ton, and I feel like throughout the year it just ends up not being worth it. It's kind of like buying a boat.
Yeah, 100% about like buying a boat. It's like kind of like a nice luxury, but then once you have it, it's just like shit. Now I gotta do all the shit that comes with, owning this luxury item.
Yeah.
When do you think would be the best time to use a jacuzzi? 'Cause I have an answer for you, but
the winter, I think, right?
100% the winter time, because it's so dope. Especially if it's snowing, you just get to hang out. And it snows all around you, but you warm. And then you have to, but the worst part is when you have to step out, like outside the jacuzzi after you're done, and you're like, oh shit, now it's fucking cold.
It's tough. It's a tough time. But yeah, it's definitely fun. Kind of unrelated but similar. When we were in Alaska, we went to some hot springs, and they were very cool, except we were there when it was like early summer, so they were just like almost miserable. But everybody's like, oh, if you come in the winter, that's awesome because it's like negative like something outside and you just hang out in this like naturally hot water.
Dope.
Like, that sounds great.
Hot spring sounds
on the other
fun
hand,
as shit.
It was cool. It would be cooler at the right time of year.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like natural. There's like hot spots. So you're like moving around. And you're like, oh god, this is like I'm like actively burning. I need to move to a different spot.
Right. It's not quite the catered experience that a hot tub might be.
Right.
Temperatures all the time.
But yeah, it was pretty cool.
That sounds like a blast.
It sure was. If you're gonna get a hot tub, just get a hot spring because they're way.
Park yourself up.
They maintain themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Park yourself up near a natural air vent that is also by water. And have yourself a nice little hot springs episode. It's like my favorite animes where they all go to the hot springs.
Our one friend that was in Alaska with us is like a big anime person, so he was big for trying to get the hot springs to happen.
That's hilarious. Were they satisfied with their hot springs? Did it live up to their wildest dreams?
I think so. Yeah. This one was a little bit more commercialized than I would have liked. Like it was kind of like a lot of the natural. It was still technically natural, but a lot of the natural qualities had been kind of stripped to make it more like a, like they had kind of built up around it, and so it didn't feel as like
purely natural.
Yeah.
It was sort of like a more consumer experience.
Where the heat was coming from was natural, but everything else was kind of like I don't know, it was like a paved ramp coming down into it, and all the rocks around it were fake and they're like put in there, and so it just didn't feel or look like something you might actually find
Right. Like I
But
get why they would do that, but at the same
Yeah.
time that does sort of, you know, the
It's like
all
I can just go in a
natural-
hot tub. I'm here because this is like
Yeah.
thing that I can't find everywhere.
It's a novelty,
Yeah.
but you know. Next
But yeah, it was
time
cool though. It was
you-
definitely something to try that I hadn't tried before.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you had that experience. And someday I will do that, and like in typical anime fashion, I will trip and I will grab somebody's towel, and then they will go hiya, and then like they'll be embarrassed, and it'll be like a lovely, hilarious, comedic happenstance, I guess. I don't know. That's what usually happens in the animes, right?
Oh, okay.
Is
I don't
somebody
know.
accidentally does like a perverted thing because like everyone's like just wearing a towel at the hot spring. I feel like that's a common theme.
That could be what happens. I didn't see that happen while I was there, but maybe we just didn't stick around long enough. I'm sure it was maybe.
That's
just
why
about to happen.
your friend was very disappointed that there wasn't an accidental.
It's like
pervert
nobody
moment.
even went hiya.
I know, like, no one shouted out like Oni-chan or anything like that. Like it was just a very atypical hot springs experience. You know, it's a shame. Truly a shame. Oh gosh, what fun times. Have you seen any movies lately? Have you been watching any flim flams?
I did. I saw Suicide Squad, and I liked it quite a bit. I've heard kind of like mixed reviews. A lot of people seem to like it, but I thought it was pretty fun. This was the reboot, like I don't know, 2 years after the original. James Gunn took the reins on this one. Who did
I was curious if
Guardians
this was
of the
like a
Galaxy.
sequel or if this was a.
They pretended like they
Jared
brought
Leto.
they brought over the things that were like working from the original and then wrote it from scratch. So a few of the actors are back. Like
Is Jared Leto still the Joker?
he might. I mean, Harley Quinn is still
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. So, but I mean all the other characters. I don't know. He wasn't in it, but she references him a lot. But the Joker. But she.
Oh, she's gotta.
But he's not in it. So I don't know. I'm just gonna hope not because I'm not a fan.
Well, I guess at this point they'll be having Robert Pattinson as Batman soon, which is Ben Affleck was fighting. I don't even fucking. I can't keep up, man. They've tried so
Ben
hard to
Affleck
get
was
those
it, and now it's Robert
universe
Pattinson. I think Robert Pattinson is for more of like a one-off or like a trilogy or something. I don't think I think Ben Affleck was their attempt at a cinematic universe Batman.
Yeah. Well, they're still trying for that, aren't they? Like they're still going for a cinematic.
I mean, I'm sure they won't stop trying because it makes a lot of money.
Well, I mean, ever since Marvel did it, every like studio's been clamoring to get like their own cinematic universes up off the ground. You know.
It's true. Not many with much success though. Has anybody been successful on it?
I think Marvel. I think that's about it.
I know, like, there's been a number of them that I've tried. Watermelon says Joker's part was terrible in the original. I didn't actually see the original, personally, just because everybody was
Neither did I.
shitting on it so much that I was like, alright, I'll just skip that. But yeah, I like the new one. That was fun. I recommend it. But,
Well, there you go, folks. 10 out of 10 stars by Brandon. That's his review.
I don't know if 10 out of 10 stars. It's definitely like fun and unique, and there's a lot of weird like set pieces and moments that are fun. Just because, for me, like even at the end of a movie, if it's not the best movie, as long as it was like unique and fun, and I saw some stuff I haven't seen in every other movie, you already got points from me. I'm already like kind of
right.
Just because I got to see something new, which is so rare nowadays.
Yeah, a lot of movies are very much the streamlined package, like, yeah, like a lot of by the numbers formulaic type stuff, just to kind of like, very like fucking Doolittle. When we watched Doolittle, like that's a movie where I felt like I watched it, but also like nothing stuck in my mind at all. Except for maybe like how cool Antonio Banderas looked in that movie, but that's about it.
And there's like, you could tell the budget was big on it. Like, there's a lot of like big moments and CGI and shit like that, but it just felt like so boring, no matter what.
Yeah.
Wamelon says, "Have you seen the Joker movie? Probably my favorite DC one right now." I did. I liked the Joker. I thought it was good. It's cool. I like the little like. I don't know if they're doing more with Joaquin Phoenix, but Joaquin.
Joaquin?
Joaquin
isn't
Phoenix.
It Joaquin?
It is Joaquin.
Joaquin?
Being stupid.
I wasn't sure. I had a serious moment of like crisis of confidence there. I was just like, wait, hold on.
No, you've been saying it wrong all this time. But I don't know if they're doing more with them, but I kind of like the whole, like, because I'm so sick of cinematic universe stuff, like, a one-off is fun. And he's just a good actor, so.
Yeah, he's a very good actor. What's your favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie? Right now, off top.
I'm trying to think of more. Like, okay, so there's, like, her, there's
Big Fish.
There's oh, yeah, he was in that. And there's, the Master, and,
Is the Master.
else is
There's that movie where he was doing, like, he was putting on a persona and, like, gave fake interviews to everybody for, like, 2 years. And
yeah, I know about that, but I've never seen
through,
it.
like, a weird... There's, so many.
Anyways, I don't know, maybe maybe the Joker, honestly, just because I haven't really seen them. He's a good. I don't know. That feels like a dumb answer, but
I kind of asked it because I knew it was going to be a hard question to answer.
I don't know. A lot of the stuff is like you watch and you're like, wow, he's good, but it's just also kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like things you might watch one time. Like I liked Her, but I'll probably never watch it again.
I liked Big Fish.
Yeah, that's a good one. Real Big Fish is the band.
Yeah. Give it up. Oh my god, I just tried so hard to do a Scott. Pick it up. There you go.
Yeah.
It's not give it up. I think they just say give it up.
It's pick it up.
Do it.
Yeah.
Triplet. They go pick it up.
Joaquin Phoenix was in a ska band before.
Yeah. Can you give me your best like try at a triplet of pick it up? A quick pick it up triplet.
Pick it up. I don't know. How's that? I'm.
I thought that sounded pretty good.
I left my checkered slippers in the other room, so it makes it hard.
Yeah, I don't have my trumpet with me.
If I grew a soul patch, it would help.
Yeah, but a soul patch helps. You have to wear a fedora. You know, the thing is though, that the hard part about a ska band is you all really have to coordinate your outfits ahead of time, because you can only have, like, if you're in a group of people, you can only have one fedora in that group of people, and even then that's pushing it. But like
That's
a
true.
ska band kind of negates that. Like,
If you have more than one, you look like someone out of the Warriors, like a gang or something that has some weird.
yeah.
We're the hipster boys.
You know what they call a group of people, like more than one fedora? Like, you know how it's like a murder of crows?
What do they call that?
They call it a pickup artist.
Of fedoras.
But yeah. Or they call it a pickup artist. That's the answer I'm going for with my joke.
Two dudes with fedoras show up at the same place and they're like, "Oh man, you wore yours too. You have to go home and change." And the person goes all the way home to take it off.
Because they can't just put the fedora anywhere. Like, they can't just like put it on a hat rack or something like that. It'll melt the whole hat rack.
Someone will steal that great hat.
Yeah. It'll bring a bad energy into the party if there's more than one fedora.
It's funny how style changes, because like fedoras were like the cool guy hat, like, you know, go back
in
like,
the 40s.
Yeah, but now they're just like the cringy hat.
Well, I think the problem is that people in the 40s somehow there's like like the look is good. Oh shit. Me?
Yeah, you timed it almost well.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I once again I only heard the fight and I was like, oh shit, who's which player?
Yeah,
we still gotta get those Discord settings figured out. But.
Sure how to make it louder, but.
Oh, wow.
How is the volume for the viewers? Is it quiet for you guys too?
How does that sound, folks? Is that a-okay too when you punch?
Fight.
You punch me in the face.
Extra attack was the one who punched you in the face, by the way, in case you wanted to know.
Extra attack. Do I have to roll for damage now?
Yeah,
Indeed.
if you roll a 20, you have to throw yourself out a window.
Yeah, I gotta defenestrate myself.
There you go.
Y'all doing any prompts tonight? Audio is good. Are we
I'm
doing
sure
any
we will.
prompts tonight?
I'm sure we will.
Why not? It's a thing we're trying to do. We're trying to encourage the audience participation. So if we do some prompts, y'all can participate.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we should show Austin's drawing because he got mad at us for not.
That's true. We should show. Okay, so what was it? 2 weeks ago.
I'll bring it up.
We were drawing some Conans and a dog, I believe, was the other part of it.
We weren't running a prompt specifically, but yes, there was a dog in Conan, and Austin drew one, or Zone Dog, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, fan of the show.
And we never showed it, and that's bad on us because the whole point is that we want you to add your drawings, and then we'll show them off, and we all can pat each other on the back and feel good about ourselves. So here, let me show off our original drawing. If I can bring this up here real quick. This was the original here that we did. See, you got Conan, you got the demon dog, they're hanging out. And then Austin did a really great one here. Conan is very upset with his... They don't have plastic bags in the Conan universe, I don't believe.
No, they don't.
So you just have to pick it up with your hands. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up!
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah. So, thanks Zone Dog for the great drawing. Everyone else.
Thank you so much.
Join in too.
Give that a rating out of 10 stars?
I'm pretty sure Austin is better at anatomy than either of us, looking at this.
Yeah, I mean, look at my Conan drawing. Like, his Conan drawing makes mine... Mine was already bad looking, I wasn't trying.
Back to the original. Yours looks like he's wearing like a muscle suit that you buy at like Halloween City
like
or
one
something.
Of those, like silent film muscle guys where he's like,
I got too much shit on me! I'm gonna rip the head off!
I'm gonna rip this fucking head off, I got too much shit on me.
Yeah, so draw along with us, post your things in the Discord, join the Discord.
Yeah.
I'll post the link real quick, and we can all have fun together.
Dude.
Did I do it right?
Extra Attack RPG.
Didn't seem to work. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
Extra Attack RPG says, Ian, I rolled damage, and it actually went negative as much as your max HP, so now you're just unalive, no saving throws. So
unalive is also known as dead.
Yeah, I believe so. Or is unalive like being made into a zombie? You know, like.
Well.
Where's the linguistic?
He rolled for a real world thing, I think.
True. Maybe, I mean, I'm alive right now, so maybe I'm a zombie, or maybe I'm supposed to die now. Maybe I'll go defenestrate myself.
That's the word.
We'll work on it.
The word of the show. Word of the week. Defenestrate.
That's right. Maybe that's what we'll draw. That'll be our first prompt: is someone or something being defenestrated.
Yeah.
No, I just don't want any Twitch flags for talking about the opposite of live. I don't know if that's a thing, but I know TikTok is weird about it. Yeah, TikTok's weird about a whole bunch of.
You talk about
a whole bunch
death?
of shit. Yeah, the word dead.
That's weird. One thing that unites us all.
Yeah, the one.
Don't talk about it. You know, one thing that happens to everyone you've ever known, or you or anyone you will know. Don't talk about it.
Don't you dare talk about it. Also, it's funny because like Twitch is like a website for streaming games, and like one of the main things you do in a lot of games is like you kill people, you kill things.
Everything. Like
a lot of kill this, kill that.
I wonder what the death count on Twitch is. Probably not like but like in video games, probably in the billions.
Oh my gosh, at least within the billions, possibly trillions. Possibly more people have died, like video game characters have died on Twitch than people who were ever born.
It's like YouTube, how they're like the amount of hours of content on YouTube is like more than there is like time in human history.
You know, the thing is, I want to believe that, but I feel like that's a lot of time. Like, I mean, sure, that is a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, re-uploads, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to get into the logistics of how accurate that statistic might be, but I both simultaneously can and can't believe it, you know?
I don't think I care enough to look into it any more than just claiming it's true on my stream and then,
I think that's fair. We have to like go and do some like checking up just to see if it's valid. Much work. Let's just say you're wrong.
Fair. I'm good with that. I can live with that. I've gotten used to accepting the fact that I'm wrong.
Wait, first of all, whenever we have an argument on this show, I'm the one who's usually wrong and arguing some stupid fact. Like when we were talking about reptiles, I was wrong. So, if anything, I'm the one who's wrong. So.
Well, when we're on the show, yes, you make me feel very smart. But normally, outside in the world, that's where I'm wrong.
I gotcha. Okay, I'm usually wrong all the time, on or off the air. So, I've accepted it as my standard way of being. Par for the course, all that good stuff. But yeah, you're wrong.
I can live with that.
I'm happy to accept that. Oh, this clown's farting now. He just drew a little fart coming out of this clown.
He got spanked in his tiny butt so many times that he let out a fart.
Or is that like, how like a lot of movies will have people shooting each other with guns, but in order to keep the PG-13 rating, they'll have like dust come out of them instead of like blood.
That might be what
Maybe
they're
that's what's
doing.
happening.
So, Wamelon posted some drawings in our thing. I'm gonna show them off. Not anything like that we've done, but just some cool stuff they've been working on. Here we got looks like a butt owl.
Yeah. Or is that a
to eat a mouse.
testicle? A testicle.
Testicowl. I think he has a belly
Feel free
button.
to sound off in the chat which is the better pun, a butt owl. Or I guess not the better pun. Which one's more accurate, Wamelon? What are we looking at here?
I'll make a poll just to be sure.
Enlighten us. Yeah, make a poll. See if people are, and have them be able to spend bits to influence the choice, because then that'll give us money. A booty owl, says Wamelon. So we're still gonna put up a poll. We'll let people decide what they.
No, death of the artist. You don't get the final say.
Once it's out there in the world, everyone's interpretation might not quite align with what you were intending when you were working on that piece, but, you can't go up to every person who's looking at your art and say, you see, no, what I really meant was, nope, death of the artist, baby. So look at that booty owl. In the meantime, what else we got from Wamelon here? Oh no.
What? Oh, sorry. What's that?
No, it's okay. I thought my internet looked like it had gone bad for a second, and I was just like, oh dear. I was ready to start shouting expletives at my internet connection, because it does that quite a bit. It'll just.
Alright, I started the poll. Testicowl has 1 vote so far. Alright, we also got here. We got
I won't vote. I won't.
A green SpongeBob. I voted.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know.
I'm gonna vote Booty Owl because I do know the artist's true vision, and I'm willing to stick up for their vision.
We got here a green SpongeBob.
So what do you think about this green SpongeBob? What do you think is the motivation behind this?
So this is supposed to be Joaquin Phoenix from the Joker.
This is Joaquin.
As SpongeBob. No, I don't know.
See it.
His nose is, his face is very different. Testicowl takes it.
Alrighty.
There you have it, folks. This is the Testicowl.
All right.
And the mouse is very startling.
This is very startling. I would be too if I was staring me down.
Yeah.
Wamelon does say, have you ever watched Mob Psycho 100? And I'm curious if that has to do with the SpongeBob, or if that's just a random off-the-cuff question.
It's possible that it does have to do with it. I don't know. I have not watched it. How about you, Ian?
I have not watched it. Have you ever heard of it?
No. That was my next question.
I feel like I've heard of it, but if you ask me, like, what is Mob Psycho 100 about, I could tell you, like, it's probably an anime. Outside of that, I don't know anything.
They say, it's the face is from a character on that show. What's the name of the character?
You were correct. Yeah, what's the character's name? I'll Google him. I'll post it up. They say, yeah, it's an anime, so I was right on the money with that.
Nailed it.
Cool. I knew something about it somehow.
You just had
in my various browsings on the internet, I must have learned of its existence as an anime at one point or another in my many travails. Dimple is the character's name. I'm gonna Google that real quick. You go ahead and keep working. I'm gonna see if Dimple let's compare. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I gotta tell you, I like this character. Oopsies, shit. Shit! Hold on. I'm gonna make a layer at the top that's for just copying and pasting. So this is Dimple.
That's definitely the face.
That's 100% the face. You nailed it. I mean, what can I say?
Is Dimple a ghost?
It looks like a ghost for sure. Maybe it's a fart.
It might be a fart.
Maybe it's a piece of fire, like, you know, Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. Maybe it's that sort of situation, voiced by Billy Crystal. Have you watched Howl's Moving Castle? Have you seen many of Miyazaki?
I have, but I haven't seen it since high school. So I don't remember a lot about that one.
Gotcha. It's a good movie.
Should rewatch some of those. I've seen probably most of them, honestly, but it's been a while.
Most of Hayao Miyazaki's...
Yeah, the most recent I've seen was Spirited Away again. Which... Great, really good to look at, but I just was... on my most recent watch, I was just like, this thing's all over the place.
It's a little... It is very, I don't want to say unfocused, but all over the place is a good way to describe it. It really
it's a little unfocused. I'll say it. I'll say it.
It jumps between a couple of plot points. I would like that whole arc where they go and like the baby with the twin witch sisters. Like, what's that even about? You know, feels like they had the main premise of the movie, and then they were like, well, shit, it's a feature film. We don't want to have this kid solving the parents' pig situation right away.
There are a number of things going on, and they're just beautiful to look at, but
yeah, absolutely.
Not all of them are relevant. It feels like there's a lot of side missions in this.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a side quest or two that they go on in the movie, which is fine. It's just when stakes are your parents have been turned into pigs and you might be trapped in a monster hotel forever. Sometimes I feel like the side missions take a backseat to the urgency. It's
like video games where you're given your thing and it's like, hurry, you need to get here now, and you're like, all right, I only have to check off like 6 side missions, and I'll be right there.
Yeah, exactly.
8 hours of play later.
When I was playing Yakuza 3, which I just beat, by the way. Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm ready to move on to number 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 0, and then Like a Dragon. So I got like 4 more to go. After I beat 4, I'll have 4 more to go, I think. Yes. So 8 altogether, I guess. And then that's not even including, I'm gonna try and get that zombie one. They have a zombie Yakuza game. Even though I know it's not canon. Maybe I won't, I'll skip it then. I'll consider it. But anyways.
You're a purist when it comes to Yakuza.
I kinda am. I'm playing them in order. I do pretty much 100%. I do everything I do in like Skyrim or something like that, where I do all of the side shit and then I eventually beat the game. In the one section, it's just like, hey, this guy just tried to kill you. This horrible thing's happening. We have to rush to the hospital to see if this guy's okay. And it's like, okay, but first, gonna go do like 80 things. Like I'm gonna go solve a murder
Classic.
mystery. And it feels very. There needs to be some sort of space in those games where it's just like your character has downtime in the storyline, which gives them the excuse to do all that side stuff. I feel like every open world game, everything's like, oh my gosh, this has to happen now, now, now. But if you want to like fuck around and do some side shit for a little bit, you can go ahead. It's fine.
I will say though, the few open world games that actually make it urgent, I'm always like, oh, I wish I could just like mess around like Dead Rising or something. Like as much as I like that game, and just like when I played it, I'm like, well, I want to like fuck around in the sandbox. I don't want the timer ticking in the corner. But I get why that's also a good mechanic. I don't know.
So the way I handle it in Dead Rising is that anytime I start it, so like in Dead Rising, your character progress saves over, which I love. So in Dead Rising, what I'll do is I'll do a playthrough. I just fuck around and I like, fight like the psychos. I mostly just like have fun killing the zombies, and doing all that, my character levels up, and then I like once like the timer runs out and it's just like you died because the timer ran out and the military murdered you, which is usually how it goes. Then I'll go like start that file over, but with all the character progress, so I'll be like level 30 or whatever in that game. And then I'll do the main story, and I'll just clean up because I'm like, I've got so much more abilities and stuff because I've leveled my character up and stuff like that, which I love doing.
In the chat is, I think, shitting on Conan again, saying, "Make a fucking bedroll or a bunch of baby dogs will die. Hurry up! Better hurry up in games."
Right?
Yeah, those games are fun. I love, when I'm like after a long day of work, sitting down to play a video game and then being rushed around to accomplish things again on a strict timeline. Extra Attack RPG says, "You drinking there, big suds, grip it and rip it, Brando. Fucking crack into the beast, bud."
Yeah, I got distracted by that. I was like, what the hell is happening in the chat here?
Yeah, I'm drinking the most like on rip it and grip it cool guy suds right now. I'm drinking an iced tea hard seltzer, and it's lemon flavored. Boy, oh boy! I was drinking a hazy IPA from Three Floyds a minute ago because they just finally made it to Michigan. I don't know if you've had Three Floyds Extra Attack, but good shit.
Good
but
shit.
That's gone
indeed.
now, and now I'm drinking this. Wildmelon says, "You guys ever play the Oddworld games?" I did as a kid.
I haven't played any of them, but they look like a lot of fun, and I have a couple on Epic. Sorry, go ahead.
I had it on PlayStation 1, Abe's Odyssey, and I vividly remember it being like one of the first games that I was like, because I came like from Nintendo. I had a Nintendo, and then I went straight to a PlayStation 1, and I remember being like, you don't have lives. You can keep retrying as many times as you want.
That was such a novelty when that happened, right?
A big thing for me. I mean, I know it was not the first game to do it, but it was one of the first games I experienced.
Was by that point it was sort of the default for games to give you like lives, and like even games that felt like it didn't make sense, like Banjo-Kazooie, it never felt like it made sense that you had extra lives. It was just like, okay, but like still gonna like go looking for jigsaw pieces anyways, and I usually get enough extra lives where it doesn't affect me negatively unless it's like an extreme scenario. It like even by the time that like games were doing that as a mechanic, it felt antiquated. So when games started doing that more consistently, it felt like such a, oh my gosh, we're finally here. We don't have extra lives. I can just play this shit over and over.
The hard days were over.
And you would never tell your parents, because your parents had this mechanic where it was just like, okay, well, if you run out of lives, you have to do the thing. And it's just like, okay, Mom, it's for sure. Dumb bitch doesn't even know that I don't have extra lives anymore in these games.
That was like the whole, like, I need to get to a save point, and you're playing a game that saves like every 5 seconds.
Yeah. I can't pause, Mom. It's an online game.
Wamelon says, Stranger's Wrath was my personal favorite. I've heard really good things about that one. I have not played it, unfortunately. Extra
is
Attack.
That the one...
Oh, wait, go ahead.
Is that the one that's like a first-person... Like, I know like a lot of them are 2D, like Prince of Persia-esque
Yeah.
Like
This one I believe
puzzle
is it
platformers.
changes up the like controls and camera and stuff, and you play as a different character.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because most of them you play as the
Aid.
aforementioned Aid, right?
Yeah, at least a couple of them.
I know I have one of the Oddworld games. Like Epic was giving them out for free on their game launcher, so I grabbed it. I have a huge list of games because of all the free games that Epic gives out.
Yeah, me too.
It's a large list. I'm not gonna count them, but I'm gonna see if Epic does have like a counter. It's like you have 80 games
they
or
do.
whatever. And
I think
if
they
I
do.
subtract Borderlands 3 and I subtract
Oh, you
Ghost
don't count
Recon
ones that you
Wild.
actually paid for.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out how many free games I got.
Extra Tech says, I haven't had 3 Floyds, but I'm on a beer break right now. Yeah, I don't think their distribution, like, footprint is big. I mean, they've been in, I think they're out of Indiana, and I'm in Michigan. It hasn't been shipped here until this month was the first time in, like, ever. And they've been around for a long time, like, over 10 years. So, excited they're finally around, because they make good stuff. But I see you're on a beer break right now. That's good. I should do that.
I should too.
I did take a good break for a while, and then for a while for me, like a week, a little over a week. And then,
That's a while.
For me, it is. And then I went to that birthday party, and
Oh,
kicked
what better
things
place to
back
get
off.
drunk than a children's
Yeah, what are you
birthday
supposed
party?
to, like, sit next to kids in a bouncy castle screaming without drinking shitty beer? But I guess-
I'm at like 88 right now. Sorry, I have to count them. They don't
no,
have
go
a
for
counter.
it. Keep it up. Extra Tech says, I mean, I'm just drinking whiskey now, so it's not like a sobriety break. It's more like a carbs break. That makes sense too. And I do love me some whiskey. It's great. That was kind of what I meant too. I was mainly just like not drinking like the equivalent of a loaf of bread and carbs.
I'm gonna say I have around 150 games that Epic's given me for free.
Z-Newt says, yum, love me some whiskey. We got 2 whiskey lovers in the chat. There you go.
Whiskey
Two-
lovers
two
in the
whole ones.
chat. Oh gosh.
What's your guys'
I-
favorite, like, doesn't have to be, like, cheap, but, like, you know, middle ground, accessible, relatively affordable-ish? Because, like, if I just say, what's your favorite, you know, people will name something that's, like, something I'll probably never buy, or it has to be, like, a special occasion or something. But,
Alright,
yeah,
what's your favorite whiskey?
I would say, like, middle
Actually-
ground, like, not too expensive, but it's also not too cheap either. I like Woodford a lot. That's a good one.
That's right. I remember I bought you that.
A
you
little
said
bit cheaper than that I also really love is Elijah Craig is a really good one that's pretty affordable.
Elijah Wood?
Elijah Craig.
Oh. Craig Elijah Wood? That's his
It's
first
a good
name.
one. Those are some pretty, good middle ground ones.
Have you ever drank some like the real top shelf, like expensive shit?
I have. I'm trying to think of some the name dropped off the top of my head. I get to try stuff at work, and like they have a lot of expensive stuff, but I don't know. Usually, a lot of like the more expensive stuff is like scotches or like certain like single barrel type things.
Right. The very old, like oaky, smoke aged bloobity-blops.
You drink and it feels like it tastes like you're drinking a piece of wood, and you're just like, yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I'm glad I spent this money. No, but I do love some good whiskey.
I'm not
fancy
sure if
stuff that often.
I'm not sure if it's a whiskey or if it's like a different type of alcohol, or if it's and I don't know the name of it, but at the restaurant I used to work at, we had a regular who would frequently like buy us booze and stuff. Like
Okay.
You met him. He was
Yeah.
also named Ian. Yeah. But he would always buy us like booze and stuff like that, and be like,
I
"What do you
believe
think
he
of
bought
this?"
me
Because he
some.
liked. That makes sense. He probably did. But he would frequently like the one time he was buying us this booze, and I'm pretty sure it was a whiskey, but it was like the brand that Bill Murray is like a salesman of in Lost in Translation or something like that.
Oh shit! Yeah. What is that stuff? I forget.
Um, but yeah, like I don't know if that was a whiskey or if, like what the brand name was, but I remember him telling us like, oh yeah, this is Bill Murray's whiskey in Lost in Translation, and
C Newt
you know.
says middle ground they prefer is Bullet. Yeah, that was actually the next one I was gonna name. Honestly, I like Bullet a lot. It's a good one. Extra text said Jameson. Yeah, that's a good one. I like Jameson. That's a good affordable one. That's still good.
Yeah. Have you ever had? So this is not whiskey. This is now we're sort of just
Apple juice.
expanding into hard liquor categories because I don't know enough about any of them to really discuss for very long and be entertaining in any fashion. But have you ever tried the Dan Aykroyd Skull Vodka?
I have because my my fiance's stepmom bought it for me for Christmas a year or two ago.
What did
It's
you
fine.
think of it?
It's
Fine.
It's good vodka. I would never buy it again because it's just
Yeah,
like.
it's harsh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really remember it that much, honestly. So it might have been bad. I don't know. I
think
don't really.
you mixed it.
I don't really have any. Well, yeah, I mixed it with stuff too. I wasn't drinking Skull vodka straight.
It's good thing too because whew,
I don't
thing will-
really remember it at all. That'll be my review of it. I don't remember
Okay.
it, so that tells you what I thought of it.
it tells us more, I think, about the state of mind you were in when you were drinking it
Perhaps.
than your opinion of it.
Perhaps. I don't mean it like it was a brown out time in my life. I just mean that it was nothing to write home about. It was nothing that I tasted. And I was like, oh, I'll
Gotcha.
get this again.
We were visiting some friends in Philly recently, me and Z Newts, and they had some Skull vodka that they were like letting us have while we were there, and yeah, man, wow, that stuff will peel the paint off of walls.
It might also just be really high proof. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
there's good stuff that's like harsh because of that. I don't know.
I'm not dissing it. Like I don't know enough about liquor to be like,
I'm not really
Hell
sticking
yeah,
up for it
dude.
either. I do have a theory that the more cool the packaging, the more shitty the product probably is.
I feel like that's the case.
They're
Like the
trying
fact
to
that it's in
look-
a
they're like-
giant skull.
They're compensating.
Yeah, like the best liquors I feel like have just like real like it's a bottle. Like I think one thing I think is very interesting is how differently bottles can be shaped from each other. Like when you think of a bottle, you think of like maybe like a Phew, that's
Yeah,
a bottle
bottle-shaped.
right there. But like bottle shapes are like so varied and like intriguing in my opinion. Like for
As long
different
as there's
liquors
an
and stuff
opening
like
at the
that.
top and that's it, a small opening, it's a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. And so many of them have just like these like a lot of them I would say are very elegant bottle shapes. And the thing is like when it comes to like hard alcohol and things like that, like the bottle shape is very much part of the brand. Like like if Jack Daniels came in a different shaped bottle than like the more square one they have, like that would just be you know it would be different for sure. I mean it's just
Right.
it's
It's a big part of the brand.
interesting
So,
how much-
you know, the visual
Yeah.
aspect is like the first thing you see. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
technically, it's the only thing you really see aside from.
I mean yeah, you're not really unless you're like looking
I'm
at
not.
the
I'm not
liquid
refined
itself
enough
that's
to look
inside
at the
of it.
whiskey and be able to really tell too big of a difference between multiple ones.
Sometimes the liquid inside the bottle has an interesting look to it. If it's like, or maybe sometimes that's just like the bottle, because like some of those bottles are tinted to make the liquid
Yeah.
inside look a little more colorful.
That's true too. There you go. That's another person overcompensating. Well, no, just tinted glass is not overcompensating. I was starting to think about this one bottle that I saw once that there was actually an LED in the bottom of it, and it had a switch on
What?
the bottom. You turn it on, it makes the whole bottle glow. It looked cool, but
So
that's some
wasteful.
overcompensating right there.
But
I
at
mean,
least it's a good
LEDs are
LED.
LEDs are pretty.
Oh yeah, but it's still like circuitry and
I imagine it was about the same amount of engineering that goes into a birthday card that plays you music.
that's fair. I consider those wasteful too, though. There's just no
That's fair,
reason to
that-
be wasting our precious LED resources on a birthday card that sings like a really shitty
How
quality.
precious
like-
are LED resources?
I don't know. I'm always like on a scarcity mindset for some reason.
You lived through the depression in your last life.
I feel like that might be the case, or I'm just, we're living through God knows
All-
what.
All of your Tupperware is old butter and Kuwait containers.
Yeah. There's just so many duck sauce packets I have from Chinese food stores that I feel bad that I'm not using, and I have them in my utensil drawer for when I need
Eat a
duck
bowl
sauce.
of duck sauce.
Right? Like, what can I make that, like, rice that I can use the duck sauce on? Like, don't get me wrong, I actually really like duck sauce too, so like I have those packets. And I'm like,
One day
I'd love to use
you'll
these,
use
but
it and
I
you're going to be
don't.
so happy you saved them.
Exactly. Also the soy sauce packets. I'm just I want an opportunity to use those.
I used to be more of a saver. Not so much. Just like starting to be buried in stuff, so I'm like, alright, I'm throwing everything away.
I mean, that's good. It means you are not a hoarder.
Right.
Sometimes I hold on to stuff. Like I have like 4 computers in this room right now. Because first of all, I don't know the proper way to dispose of them, and second of all, I'd rather like give them to somebody who's like, oh yeah, I'll take this thing apart and tinker with it or something like that. I need to figure out how to.
I tend to
Schlep
hoard
these
until it's time to move,
computers.
and then I'm like, fuck all this, and I throw it all away because I'm like, I hate moving so much.
Yeah,
So, yeah. That's kind of how I
I
do
think
it.
that's fair.
I've been in the same place for going on 4 years now. Or, wait, no, that's not right. 3 years. So, I've started to collect a little bit. So I'm going to do some spring cleaning here pretty quick.
Spring cleaning. Spring cleaning.
I think this
I'm pretty
drawing's
good on
done.
this. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty good on this drawing. I don't think I need to do any more work with it, in my opinion.
Let's save it. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Billy.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so, we were asked in the chat about prompts.
Yes, so we should do that. I think that'd be fun.
Got any prompts for us? Chat? Or Brandon?
I don't have any off the top of my head. I'm gonna go to a generator here in a second, unless the chat comes up with something.
I was looking for my hair comb, and I just realized it's not in its usual spot.
Your hair comb,
Yeah.
as opposed
hair
to what
brush.
other kind of comb?
A desert cone.
We found
A
shit.
honeycomb.
There you go. There's the comb. CNewt says hide and seek. So that's one possible prompt there.
Dokes. That's on the board.
Extra text says liquors personified as villains.
I dig that. That's fun. Open to interpretation.
Wamelon says something from Mr. Meaty.
I know of that show, but I never watched it personally.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. I'm actually like looking at it right now. Okay, yeah, I recognize the puppets.
The
but I
horrifying
watched it.
puppets.
The puppet design is kind of awesome, actually.
Oh, I love it. I love the like. It's grotesque, but at the same time, I love how it's stylized.
There's some funny stills from this. I might have to watch the show.
Probably on Paramount or HBO or where the fuck they put Nickelodeon shows on. Should we? What theme are you feeling? Any of the themes posted in the chat, or should we go to a generator? What are you feeling?
I was on the generator. I was thinking of maybe like seeing if we could like, merge some of these ideas together somehow.
Okay.
I don't know. Workers personified as villains. Could be
That's
fun.
fine. I do like when people take like objects and then personify them, because that's always like an interesting design challenge. Man, this is the funnest part of the show.
I'm worried that if I do liquors personified as people, I'm just gonna get too like focused on like where in the world they come from, and then it's gonna feel like
You're doing like cultural
a
stereotype.
weird, weird stereotype thing.
What if you focused on like the bottle shape?
Then I'd have to pick specific brands, which I guess I could do.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
They
it
ain't
means is
sponsoring our aces.
Yeah, but that's what people they'll do is they'll pick like a specific thing and then they'll personify it as like a character. So like for instance, here I'm looking at a Woodford bottle right now. I'm gonna draw Woodford.
Okay, I'll draw Jack Daniels.
Spring cleaning. Spring cleaning. Are there any, I need to, I was gonna say, are there any shows or anything like that coming out that you're excited for? And I just remembered, I still haven't watched the Netflix 3D Resident Evil TV series. I've heard they're a garbage fire, but that's exactly what I want out of them.
I have not watched those yet either. I did just watch, I've been watching Frasier lately, and Dave.
How you enjoying Frasier?
It's good. It's good comfort food.
Absolutely. That's kind of how I
show.
viewed it too. What
Dave,
season you on?
2.
Season 2? Okay.
Dave is good this season. It's fun. I like that show.
Still need to watch the new season.
What else have I been watching? We occasionally watch Bachelor or Bachelorette and then talk about it with our one couple friend and just bitch about how stupid everybody is. So that's been watching a little bit of that. The show just makes me furious.
I love some good mindless TV,
Yeah, it's trash TV. It's
Yeah.
just the people are so. I mean, it takes a certain kind of person to be on reality TV, especially one where you're supposed to
100%.
find your like the person you're gonna marry. Like,
Yeah.
there's different kinds of reality shows. I won't shit on them, everybody who goes on them, because some of them are kind of just like silly and fun and whatever. But then there's some that the concept is meant to be like this very serious, like big thing, and it's just like, you're dumb. This is how you think you're gonna accomplish this task, is by doing it on live, or not live TV, but TV. And so everybody is a certain type of person to be on one of these shows. And they're all dumb.
Absolutely.
And they all make me mad. And then I just yell at the TV. And that's what I do.
Have you heard about that show? I think it's new on Netflix. It's Too Hot to Handle.
Is that the one where they all get, like, fine money for, like, sleeping together and stuff like that?
Yes.
I've heard of it. That sounds
I've heard
like
of it too.
funny concept. I don't know if
I would absolutely watch the hell out of that show. I think it'd be a lot of fun to observe. I think is a better word than watch, but just to observe, because I feel like that's a show that, like, if you took aliens,
sorry,
and you,
sorry, I was cutting you off.
if you had like a bunch of aliens and you were just like, hey, watch this show. This is humans, and they'd like watch it and they'd be like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's a weird concept. It's kind of funny. And
I
then,
love
like,
it conceptually. I think it's a brilliant concept.
And they specifically, I think, like, bring people on that are going to be, like, promiscuous.
Oh yeah.
They, like, vet all their people.
They have to.
Let's see. Wamelon says Junji Ito is coming out with a new show on Toonami. Not sure if you're familiar with that artist.
Uzumaki. That's the show I'm assuming Wamelon's talking about.
I'm not as familiar, but I like to watch
You know,
things, and I like anime. I just
Junji
don't know
Ito, the horror manga artist. Like he did
Oh,
the.
right. Yeah. I do know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Big fan of Junji Ito.
Is that
As
the
a person as well as.
dur?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a fan of Junji as a person as well as a manga artist. Like, have you seen all those videos where it's like he reacts to like cats and other things? Have
No.
you seen those videos?
Like the movie Cats or just Cats, the animal?
Just like cats, the animal, because like he has like he also does like a series of like comics about like his experiences with like his cat who he loves very much. But also like there's just like a series of videos where like they get his reactions to like different things, and it's interesting because like, you know, he makes very terrifying and fucked up like manga, and then like all these reaction videos he's just like the purest human like the
It's good.
just a very happy I assume happy, I don't know, but watching him is very wholesome. Like his reactions are always just very pleasant, and he's just doesn't come across as fucked up like at all, which is great. It's very wholesome content. I highly recommend, if you haven't watched any of them, you watch like any of the Junji Ito reacts videos, because again, amazing horror manga artist, also just a very pure being who you know.
I like the contrast. I think that's fun.
Yeah, me too. I love it, and also because he's so pure, it just makes watching him a delight, because you're just like, oh, Junji Ito, you're such a cutie.
I'll have to look into some of this stuff besides the comics. Leviathan Den says, I'm glad you guys streamed tonight. We're glad you're here tonight.
That's right.
We were talking before the show, and I was like, I don't think we should stream, and Ian's like, yeah, I don't think we should either. And then we're like, oh, what if Leviathan's Den is there? And then we're like, oh, okay, you know, we should stream.
We had like conjured up an image of you like walking down a dusty railroad track kicking a can, and we were just like, God, we can't let that be Leviathan Den's fate. We have to stream tonight.
Can't leave him high and dry.
That's right.
So here we are, and we're all better people because of it.
Right.
Wamelon says, sorry, I'm a man-child, I only watch cartoons. Oh, I love cartoons. I know it may seem like a lot of your suggestions, I'm like, huh? But that's just because I'm getting old. But I still love cartoons. I'm not caught up with everything.
You know what cartoon I really want to check out is that new Jellystone that's on HBO or something like that.
Oh, is that the like Hanna-Barbera like?
Yeah, I watched like a 5-minute clip of one of the episodes, and the animation is a lot of fun. Like the stylization and the animation is like super fun. And
I like some of the people working on it. Like I follow them on social media and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's super
like
super charming. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's like the little clip I watched, like the art style and like the way it's animated were just like very aesthetically pleasing.
Nice. I will check that out. Is that out yet?
Highly recommend. I think so. I can't say with 100% certainty, but I'm fairly certain yes. But yeah, gosh. Any games coming out you're excited about?
Oh boy. I don't think so.
Is that a yes? I don't know. I don't know of anything that's coming out lately.
People in the chat. Do you have any game ideas? Or not game ideas. Yeah. Can you guys make a game that I can be excited
Pitch your
about?
games to us. We'll make them a reality. That's the new segment. We'll make a video game on the spot, because that's something we're capable of.
But yeah, any games people are excited for? I'm trying to think of stuff that's coming out. I'm sure there's some.
I know the new
new
Psychonauts comes out in like
That's
7 days, something like that.
That is one that I am excited about.
I need to play that myself, the original Psychonauts. I played a demo way back. Like I used to have a PlayStation magazine, and they would have a demo disc, and I played like the first level in that demo disc, but and I have it on Steam. I just haven't gotten around. Like back when I was trying to first play it, I didn't have a controller. Excuse me, for my computer, And now I do, but I haven't been in like a position where I've sat down and been like, gosh, you know, I should play as Psychonauts right now. I should catch up before the new one comes out on Game Pass.
Yeah, I've never actually finished the original one either, so I don't know. But I enjoyed it.
Anytime I say that like I haven't played it yet, there's like a bunch of people who are just like, what? You gotta. So I'm assuming I gotta.
You gotta. Wamelon says, Bungus Operator. I don't know if that's a real game. Or maybe that's the game they're pitching.
Bungus Operator. Okay, yeah. Well, let's just real quick. Let's brainstorm Bungus Operator. Okay, so I think first.
What exactly is the Bungus?
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. What do you think a Bungus is?
I feel like a Bungus is a type of like, some kind of like machinery or a vehicle that's just like kind of convoluted, complicated to operate, and doesn't have a clear purpose for what it's used for, but it's got a lot of like levers and buttons, and it's dangerous and hard to run.
So kind of going off of that trajectory, I'm gonna say that a Bungus is Australian slang for a forklift.
Okay. And then there's just like a lot of urgency in the game. They're like, "Oi, mate, we got a lot of shipments to get out of here.
We got a pallet of kangaroos. We got to get in a boat.
Up in the Bungus."
But then but like the thing is, you have like to get this pallet of kangaroos in the boat right away. But also, if you wanted to like fuck around and do some like side missions, you could, you know.
Yeah. And then once you get the kangaroos in the crate and on the boat, suddenly there's a shift. You're to the perspective of the kangaroo. You've been separated from your family, and you have to get home. It's a real twist.
That is a twist right there.
Bungus Operator, like Game of the Year.
It's like one of those games where at first you think you're getting like one type of game, and then you find out halfway through you're getting a whole different type of game.
You're like, I thought it was going to be operating Bunguses, but now I'm navigating this.
Now I'm a kangaroo, and I'm robbing this person of their vehicle.
They should make a game where you're like, it's like Homeward Bound, except you're like dogs and cats that can like steal cars and shit. It's
like Grand Theft Auto, but Homeward Bound. And also Kangaroo Jack is a playable character.
You have to unlock him.
Yeah. You get him... Okay, can I just say, there are a lot of games that like unlock things for your second playthrough, but like these are games that have like 80 hours of playtime in them.
Or even more insulting, they're a game that would never warrant a second playthrough. Like, they like weren't that good of a game, and they're like, here, and now you get the good stuff, and you're like, well, fuck, I'm not playing you again anyways. I only did it to justify the fact that I spent money on you.
I have so many games to play right now, like, and you want me to play you again? Like, what?
You are out of your goddamn mind.
Like, I love the Yakuza games, but they're all like, hey, guess what? You beat the game. Now, if you do New Game Plus, you get, like, new clothing and this and that. And I'm just like, damn, that all sounds really cool, but I just played you for, like, 60 hours, and I have 8 more of you to go. So, take a rain check. We'll see if I get around to playing you again ever. So yeah, that's just always I'm like, I feel bad for the developers who had like spent time. They're like, hey mate, they're Australian for some reason. Hey mate, can you build those
developers of Bungus Operator?
That's right. Hey mate, can you build those extra seats for us so that we can put them in a New Game Plus now? My Australian accent.
I'm hoping they don't spend too much time on the after game stuff.
I feel like they do and they don't. I feel like, you know, obviously they're not going to spend as much time as on the main game, but like someone still had to like texture and potentially model like all this extra shit. And it's like, damn, I'm not gonna experience any of this. That
Well, they already
person
got
wasted
my
their
money. I
time.
don't have to feel bad about not.
That's fair. It would just if I was like a person who worked on the game and they were like, oh, like, hey, so like, what's this shit that I'm making right now? When are people gonna play it in the game? They're like, oh, this is the stuff you get.
Oh, they won't, mate.
They won't, mate. This is new
We're
game
just
plus
trying
material.
We're just trying to pad the playtime, make it seem like there's more content here than there is.
Like, oh shit, but like I just spent like the last 2 weeks making this suit, and that might downright pisser in it.
I'm told you did a bloody good job on it. I don't really feel like playing the game a second time, so I won't see it myself. But I hear you did a great job.
Word around the office is you've been doing a real good job on that new game content, mate. Word around the office is it's nothing to faff around about.
That's what they say. All the Australian viewers are leaving the show right now.
Yeah, as they should, because we are.
I don't know why he looks like a bro. I guess the shape of the bottle is what
That's
did it.
Jack
This
Daniels.
is my Jack Daniels.
Okay, okay. I always saw Jack Daniels as like a cowboy type.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, this
Yeah, I don't know
our
why.
interpretations.
I was just going with the shape of the bottle. I didn't think about who drinks it or whatever.
Just like just the persona of the product in general, you know. This is Woodford. The name, I think, played a lot into.
That's why I laughed when you said it, because I instantly knew where that came from. Extra Attack RPG says, I just came back. What is this bit? So, can you explain what the Australian... Can you try to get a roundabout, try to explain from the top what
that's going to be.
Do your best.
Me? Oh, I thought you were going to explain it.
No.
I was ready, mate.
That'd be hard to do. That's why I'm going to make you do it.
What we're talking about, mate. Which, you know, when the developers, how they worked on all the new Game Plus content.
Well, first, you're getting ahead of yourself. Start off on why they were Australian.
I don't know, mate.
Because the Bungus,
I don't remember.
Bungus operator.
It slipped me mind.
Bungus operator.
Australian accent. Bungus operator. So your Bungus is a forklift, mate. And what you do is you play the game, and you operate a forklift, and then you got a kangaroo, pallet of kangaroos, and then you put the kangaroos on the boat, mate, and then you become you play as the kangaroo, and then you have to get back home, and it's Grand Theft Auto, mate. So what we did is we we are the developers now, and we've worked on the new Game Plus content, and it's not going to get played by anybody because it's a 70-hour game, mate. Who's going to play the new Game Plus? And that's not the long and the short of it, mate.
Extra Attack says, I'm more confused. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. That's all I want to see.
Me too, mate.
He is, best attempt.
Me too.
Yeah, so, there you go. I think we cleared that up pretty well.
Right, mate. We did.
We did.
We nailed it.
How about you? Have you played anything new or watched anything new or anything like that?
Well, I just told you, mate. I beat Yakuza 3.
Right, that's true. That's true.
As for watching anything, I mean, I'm still watching Modern Family, still plugging away at that show. You know, once I finish drawing old Woodford here, I can show you. I did some, I participate and I mod those Lord Spew.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
drawing
stuff you've been working on.
Yeah, I can show you some of the new gifts I did, mate, for the latest animation round.
All right, mate.
Last night they had Jeremy Polgar, who he's worked on like Space Dandy. He's worked on
cool.
Motor City. He's worked on Korra. He's worked on a lot. Like he does like really dope fucking anime. He worked on the Black Dynamite anime.
Nice. How do you do on the like show where you have to go fast?
He did great, mate. He did a real good job.
Extra Attack RPG says, I saw The Green Knight and it was amazing. I have a confession. By no fault of the movie, which I was very much enjoying, I fell asleep because I'm old. And the whole movie, especially the worst movie to fall asleep during, I'll tell you, because the whole movie's a build up to what happens at the end. And I don't fucking know what happens at the end now because I fell asleep during it.
You fell asleep during Green Knight?
I know, and I'm mad about it. It was beautiful. It was like everything I saw was like awesome, and then I just snoozed out. So I'm a loser.
Yeah, that's what, and like you said, everything that important happens like towards the end.
It's all build up.
I reread. Well, I read the Wikipedia article on the original story because I was just like, I know what happens in the story, but I just fucking don't remember. So now I remember what happens in Green Knight, which I don't consider a spoiler for me for the movie because it's based on a very old Arthurian legend. But I'm interested in seeing how they really pad it out to a full year or a full movie. I would say.
I thought this movie is going to be a visual spectacle, which it was, and I was like, I'm gonna take a gummy before I go to this.
Oh no,
it's just gonna add to my enjoyment. And then I almost forgot that I can't handle my shit, and I fell asleep. So that's
a shame, mate.
That's my experience. So I'll have to watch it again. I'm kind of annoyed with myself.
Gonna have to give it a new watch plus.
I'll have to give it a go. Yeah, new watch plus. I hope there's some new costumes in the second viewing.
Wouldn't that be a real pisser, mate? You watch the movie, and then I'm done. I can't do this fucking voice anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll let you know what I think when I eventually get around to seeing the whole thing. What else we got? He says, I'm casually in a replay of Final Fantasy X.
I love that movie, that game, mate. My favorite Final Fantasy.
And he said, also doing lots of D&D stuff. That's awesome.
Of course, mate.
Always doing that D&D stuff.
Doing that D&D?
We, our campaign...
It's a beholder, isn't it, mate? Sorry, what? Go ahead.
Our group hasn't gotten together in a minute just because it's been a couple of weeks. Just because, we, I don't know, are all busy. Our DM is getting married in a couple months, and then, now we're planning a wedding, and
congrats to your DM.
Yeah. He did it.
I had to explain D&D to somebody last night.
What's your elevator pitch for D&D?
You know the box that they go into in SpongeBob where it's like Imagination Land?
Yes.
It's like that, except you have to roll a dice to see how well you imagine, and or how true your imagination
see if
is.
The things you come up with play out the way you come up with them. Yeah, that's actually a good way to describe it.
The person who I was talking to, their only experience with D&D was, I guess they watched somebody else's stream of D&D, and this person makes it really weird and raunchy, and the person who was explaining it to me was just it just makes me very uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, that sounds terrible. What you just described sounds very uncomfortable.
It's you telling me about it made me uncomfortable, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sorry that was your they were so confused that D&D didn't have to involve such scenarios that this person has been subject to. They didn't play themselves, but they've watched the other person play. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that it could be not what I've experienced. And I was just yeah, no, that's just specifically the sort of experience that person's cultivating. Write down.
Wamelon is a fan of Space Dandy.
Good show. Here, I'm gonna send you the GIFs that I made for this drawing.
Cool.
And if you want, you don't have to. You can put them up on the. You can put.
Wamelon says, "Oh, you rolled a 3. Now we have to kiss."
That's kind of what the person was describing, honestly.
Oh God.
They were like, yeah, it made me very uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, no, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be anything you want, really. And they're like, oh, that sounds so much better. So I sent you the GIFs. So you don't, if you want to put them up on the screen somehow, you don't gotta.
We got Zone Dog in the chat. Zone Dog, we showed off your Conan earlier, and your...
We did. We actually talked about it.
And your pooping demon dog, which is disturbing to look at, because you really added detail where it wasn't, where it's not wanted. We said it was great. We complimented your use of anatomy. And
yeah, we said how your Conan is better looking than my Conan.
And then we did some bit about how plastic bags don't exist in the Conan universe, and so on and so forth.
That's true. So that you can't pick up the dog shit.
You know what? You watch the replay.
Yeah, just watch the VOD, dude.
Dancing monkeys.
And right now we're drawing liquors personified as humans. I think we did a killer job. I think we did fantastic.
Yeah. It went as good as it could have. So I saved those, and then we can do some different prompt.
Yeah, does anyone else have any other prompts? Don't say the ones that you already said, because we read them, and we did this one, so give us some new prompts, folks.
New prompts. I will also start looking around. I have a site that has some suggestions, and I can look at that too.
Good boy.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
What are you thinking? We got character, creatures, situation.
We're looking at the same website.
Okay.
Challenge. Oh, that's a whole different thing. Okay.
Okay.
Here, do situation, and we'll try and extrapolate maybe from any of the good ones if there are.
Okay. What do we got here? Your character using the ultimate sword is one of them. But,
okay,
you know, then it's just two dudes holding a sword.
You know what? I have a great idea. What if we played a classic game of rock, paper, pencil?
I like that. We haven't done that in a while. Let's do that.
Bibbidi-doo! That's the rock, paper, pencil.
You haven't made us. Since you're in charge of making all the music.
I should do some like bumpers, you know? That would actually help us probably keep more of a structure.
Like a animation or something.
I was going to re-instrumentalize the DrawBomb theme song, maybe spiff it up a little bit. I want you to make like around Halloween time. I want like a wolf howling at the end of it, or like Christmas, add some jingle bells. You know, basics. Yeah.
I'm not asking for much.
Variations on the theme.
Just asking you to do free music production work for me.
Well, I mean, I've already made us like 4 hours of background music.
You have, and boy, it's great.
I have to finish mixing and mastering the last couple so that we have the full like list of the big ass songs that I made. And we have a whole bunch of like sort of filler other songs I've made sort of in the background too.
Maybe one episode we'll just use songs to piss and shit too.
Yeah.
That'll make everybody uncomfortable.
Absolutely, especially because of all the pooping and peeing sounds. Lo-fi beats to piss and shit too. Which is still, that just makes me laugh as a conceptually.
Talk about what that is.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to go into deep detail, but I just feel like...
I was talking about that Lord Spew stream, and back when I first sort of got myself acquainted with that stream and the community sort of surrounding it, the Lord Spew was working on a little goofy animation called Lo-Fi Beats to Piss and Shit too. And he took requests, like he took like songs submitted by people, so I gave him 2 lo-fi beats full of pooping and peeing sounds so that he could throw them into his animation. Because it's funnier if you have like lo-fi beats to piss and shit too, and it's actually like an hour or 2 long instead of just being like a 2-minute like thing. It's funnier the longer it is because the joke just becomes more ridiculous. It's like, oh, there's actually like 12 different songs in this to listen to. It's kind of like when, you know, it starts out as a joke and it's taken just seriously enough so that the joke lands, I think, better.
And the funny part is, like, from the ones I heard, the music's actually good, and then there's just like,
yeah,
you know, bodily function noises. It's speckled it.
Yeah, there's a couple of really goofy. There's one in there that's so goofy, and it made me die laughing the first time I heard it. And like it ends with a guy going like, "Oh shit, I'm in the wrong bathroom." But it's like a dude like, like the farts are like part of the bass line, and it's like the guy starts like yelling because of how badly he's shitting. It just made me laugh so hard when I first heard it. Alright, so Zone Dog says, how about Meta Daddy? Which, that's a throwback to a joke.
I'm not familiar
as
with
a theme, by the
Metadaddy, I
way.
don't think.
Metadata, so like it's like, you know how like files will have metadata that tells you like when was this file made, or is this like metadata? That'd be like, I think I said that was gonna be my rap name or something like that. So we do metadata as like a musician or something like that. Feels very specific. Ralph Macchio
says, what is rules for rock paper pencil?
Shit. I mean, we come up. We have a prompt, and we both draw our interpretation of it, and then we put it to a vote. Pretty much, that's rock paper pencil. Pretty much in a nutshell. Is that? Am I missing any of the?
That's it.
Yeah, the nuance. Okay. What?
Zone Dog subscribed.
Well,
2 months. Thank you, Zone Dog.
DrawBomb 50 kiloton. So I think that's like a atomic warhead. That might be a prompt. Thank you for the subscription, by the way, Zone Dog. Much appreciated. Your support is always appreciated. Leviathan Den's suggestion for a prompt is Ralph Macchio, but Ninja Gaiden style. Yes, you read that right. Dirty Foreigner Ninja. Baka Gaijin. We also have Dwayne the Rock Paper Pencil. Which actually, hold on, okay. What if it's like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but it's also his
Dwayne
his
the something
crew.
else Johnson.
Like Greg the Paper, Greg the Paper Gregson, and then Cliff the
And they just constantly fight each
Scissors. Yeah.
What if it was Dwayne the blank Johnson something else?
Yeah, Dwayne the household object. Dwayne the common object Johnson.
But
also,
I mean,
just real quick, I want to say, Zone Dog
he's
says,
a big
wait,
guy,
I
but
subbed
doesn't
from...
really... Sorry, go ahead.
Zone Dog says, wait, what? I subbed for more than that? I know, Twitch just displays that you've subscribed for this month. Like, when your subscription hits the next month, they'll ask you in the chat, like, oh, do you want to let us know that you're still subscribed? And then you can do that, and then they'll just tell us, oh, he's subscribed for 3 months. They don't give an
tells you
aggregate
the streak.
reason. It tells you the streak. It doesn't tell you how far into the future you've subscribed for, because I guess that could change technically at any. Because you can unsubscribe and like just trim it down to.
Yeah, if we still refuse to show your drawing for multiple weeks, you might go in and cancel your subscription.
Exactly.
So there you go.
I just wanted to explain real quick for him how Twitch works.
Zenut says Jeff Bezos builds a rocket that looks like his face. He already did that.
Yeah, he already did. Well, it's shaped like a giant dick. Hey, fuck you, Jeff Bezos. Anyways,
Wow.
So do you wanna? What are you thinking? Do you wanna do Dwayne the?
I don't know. I was
Maybe
gonna say
wrestler
like
themed.
Perhaps. I feel like the Brock thing is like, sure he's a big guy, but he doesn't really resemble a Rock anyway. So I don't know what Dwayne the Paper Johnson would look like, or any other object.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. This is fascinating stuff, by the way. When we're paralyzed by indecision.
Just a big empty white canvas, and then we just sitting here, not deciding.
Bullshit.
It's great. Well, let's.
While we think about this, everyone give it up for Brandon.
Thank you. Thank you. No, you're too kind. Stop. 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 Stop it.
We just got a hydrate thing, so we're being told to drink water now.
Boy. That was some good water. I've had water in the past, but that
was some good one.
that was some good water.
You know what? I'm just gonna say right now. I talked to my dad the other day. He said he doesn't like water. No,
That actually is my real reaction. Wait,
I
don't want to. Okay, I will call him out, but your dad's profession makes me even more surprised by that response.
Because he's a dentist.
Yeah.
I know. It's weird. He said he doesn't like water because he doesn't like the taste. I know.
You mean?
Okay.
Wait, you're saying he doesn't like water? One of those 3 things you need to live?
I know. Like he would prefer to have something flavored. I know. Okay. Jesus.
Man.
Posture check, by the way. Get that back straight. But you know, if you put like just a little bit of a he likes seltzer in his water, so that kind of makes it more bubbly. He'll drink water.
The audience think that's cute.
Yeah.
Aww.
I know.
That's
But
sweet. Every time
about
people are not that they think water's gross, I'm always like, that's strange to me.
Right?
It would be like being like, I don't like air. You know, I don't like the flavor. It's like, but you fucking need it. Like, it's a very important aspect.
Air doesn't have enough flavor to me. I like to be like around gas stations and breathing in the gasoline.
I just like to breathe in some like exhaust on like a car.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit more flavor to it.
Just take like a big old canister of gasoline.
That's the stuff. We need to pick a prompt here. We were given so many great options from our wonderful audience.
Spicy water can we do something with spicy water? I know that they're actually just that's not a prompt suggestion, but I feel like spicy water. Like, what if? Okay. Fuck. We gotta come up with a prompt. What if it's the water 2.0?
Huh.
We know that's Fiji. Fiji water.
Right. Everybody already knows what the superior water is. Well, Fiji.
Fiji.
They found a way to improve on
water.
You know, God's original recipe.
Okay.
Fiji water. Sponsored by Fiji.
That's awesome. Okay. I'm just gonna real quick. The fucking is wrestler.
Stone Dog says Super Mario Twins.
What if it's the Mario Brothers as wrestlers? Like, I'll draw Mario, you draw Luigi.
As wrestlers. I got Luigi?
Yeah.
Okay. And I have to hide your stuff, right? We're doing it that way, or are we...
Oh, yeah. We're hiding. Should we hide them? Does it matter? Like, we're not gonna.
Let's show it. I'm cool with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Stone Dog
like, the reveal is fun.
Luchadario Bros.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, the reel's fun, but it's not as fun for the viewer because they can only see what I'm making.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get drawn the Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, and you guys should join in too. Any Super Mario characters doesn't have to. We're gonna do like Mario and Luigi, but feel free to also do like, you know, Peach, Yoshi, Waluigi as wrestlers, and we will show your work. Probably be working on this for, I'd say, you want to just do this for like the remainder of the show? So you got like a good like 30 minutes to make something. So
yeah, that works for me.
And when we're done, we'll look at your stuff. If you guys made anything, we'll be happy to show it off on the show at the end.
Draw something. Draw along with rock, paper, pencil. Post it in the chat, and we will discuss after we discuss ours. We might even put you in the poll and see if you beat ours in the poll for who has the best drawing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like the one guy says. Like Purple Luigi says.
Oh yeah, he says, And he goes, "Ow! What a world! What a world! What a world!" As he melts. You know, I was telling Zone Dog and Crazy Kyle this the other day, but when I was on Game Pass, the one banner thing is like, hey, download Forza Horizon 5 now so that you can play it the moment it's available.
Oh, really? I might have to
when
do
it comes
that.
out. But the thing is, like,
How big
Forza
is this
Horizon
game?
5 doesn't come out till November, and it's
Oh, yeah,
80
so
gigs.
I'm
It's like,
not gonna
I'm really
do that.
gonna lock off like 80 gigs of my hard drive till November. Like,
Some
get
people-
out of here.
Some people downloading 80 gigs will take till November.
That's true. Very good point. So now that I've beaten Yakuza 3, I've got like, I uninstalled Unreal Engine, so that actually freed up a lot of space on my hard drive. That I was not sure where it was all going. Like, I was just like, why is there so little space on my hard drive? And then I uninstalled Unreal Engine, and then that was a large part of it, it turns out. But now I have like a whole bunch of other games on my computer that like I should just beat and then uninstall them so that I have that space open up too for like shit that I'm actually gonna like play.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
So I think sometime, maybe starting this week, I'll start streaming Dead Space 2.
Just in time for the reboot to come out.
Oh yeah, I did want to talk about that. So that they're doing a remaster or a reboot. I'm not sure how far.
Reboot or remaster. I mean, but I guess sometimes
Yeah.
things get kind of changed. I guess sometimes, but
Yeah.
primarily I
I'm
believe
just
it's a remaster.
Yeah, I'm curious if that means like they're just gonna update like the textures and maybe the models, or if they're going
No,
to.
I think they're doing like
like,
from the
rebuild the game.
rebuilding it from the ground up. That's kind of
Which is
what I
interesting.
imagine.
So when I first saw that announcement, as an avid Dead Space fan, my first reaction was, "Can you just make Dead Space 4?" But I thought about it, and what I think they're doing is they're testing the waters for.
They keep making it. They have to rebuild some. Maybe like
They're
fan like excitement.
Yeah, they're trying to basically either one, get fans excited again, or two, sort of gauge interest in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
if the game sells well, maybe they'll be like, well, I guess we can afford to, like, you know, put Dead Space 4 in the budget. Or maybe they'll just remake Dead Space 2, which I would love to see a remastered. I mean, don't get me wrong, a remastered Dead Space sounds cool and all, because there's, like, all sorts of new things that you could do, I guess, but like also those games hold up really well. So I'm not sure how, like, it made sense, I think, to remaster Crash Bandicoot, to remaster Spyro, because those are games that you know, they were made in the PS1 era. They were very antiquated in terms of gameplay and things like that. Like, they don't hold together quite so well. But, you know, I played Dead Space 1 like a couple months ago on stream, and that game still plays like clean. I don't know, like, it still works.
Yeah, not
I don't know what all they could.
I guess. I think maybe they're like
Yeah,
looking
not
at, like,
every.
how Resident Evil has done really well with some remakes. Granted, those
Yeah,
games
I mean,
need it more.
Those games did need it more, so I'm just curious what I hope, since they are remastering it, I just hope that they do a little bit extra with it, because otherwise I don't really see too much of a point. Aside from maybe just trying to get some extra cash to see if it's like worth, you know, making a new Dead Space, like something like that. I don't know. When I read about the plans they had for Dead Space 4, it makes me really bummed out, because like what they had in like the works sounded really cool actually. Like what it seemed like they had in mind was like kind of, you know how Void Bastards is, it's like these sort of procedurally generated ships that
Yes.
you like get resources on as you try and sort of like progress in the main story or whatever.
Yes, I'm familiar with such things.
Right, actually you're the one who got me into Void Bastards. But anyways, it sounded like they sort of had that in mind for Dead Space 4, which was you'd just be like going from ship to ship and like collecting resources to keep yourself like alive as you try and, you know, solve them. And like I was like reading that and I was just like, oh, that sounds so fucking cool. But they canceled the game and it never got made, which bums me out. I'm a big fan of those games though. Yeah, very disappointing. I just think
you are. How many people
conceptually,
reached
like,
out to you to tell you that they were remaking that last one when it got announced?
Oh my god, you texted me, Austin texted me. I think 2 or 3 people sent me Discord messages saying that it was getting remade.
Yeah.
Um, People know that I'm a fan.
You make it
they
known.
I do. um, which was funny because I feel so known. The what's that quote where it's like the fear of truly being known. I feel known. My love of that series. I think it's just like a cool, like monster idea, you know, is like this fucking virus that essentially recombinates your body into like these horrifying like Akira monsters essentially. And then like obviously like the fanatical church. Like it's funny because in Dead Space when I was playing it, like they have the Unitologists, which is like a religion that says like, no, we want our corpses to be horribly mutilated and then transformed into these viruses, like monster things. And like playing that game then, I was like, oh, cool. It's like a religion, so which kind of like it all sort of sounds like something that could conceivably happen. And then now we have like the pandemic now, and we have people who are like, fuck wearing a mask, I don't care if I get COVID. So it's like become almost too real at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in entertainment that have kind of turned into that, where I'm like, oh, this was fun, and it's like this weird outlandish idea, but now that it's real, and I have to like read about it every day, I'm like, this is not fun anymore.
Yeah, well, it's just like where the writer's just more acutely tuned into the human condition than I was, because like I could see this happening in like maybe 200 years with space travel and stuff like that, but where it's happening now, just interesting how accurate like some people's predictions are when they're just like right, like it's like you know, you sort of expect the accurate predictions for the future to be like the weatherman or scientists who have done like studies and stuff like that, but you know, sometimes it's just a fucking writer who's just like, yeah, I totally bet humans would fucking want the horrible alien virus to mutilate them and turn their bodies into horrifying Akira monsters.
Hopefully, fortunately, we haven't reached the COVID variant that turns us into Akira monsters yet, but you know, we're gradually getting there. Just gotta go through a few more Greek alphabet, and then
yeah, that'll be Sigma variant.
I'm worried about Ligma.
Oh yeah, what's the Ligma variant? Oh, you don't gotta finish that joke.
What joke? I don't joke about COVID, Ian. So.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You're right. It's not a laughing matter. Well, gosh. How's your Mario is looking? You're very. I love the wrestler hair. That I think.
That was very on point. And I got Luigi.
You did get Luigi, and I love it.
Isn't that what you said, Mario? I just want to make sure like I didn't get confused and do the wrong one.
No, you're all good. Oh, we have a Shiny Doggy in the chat. What's up, Shiny Doggy? How you doing? Thanks for popping in.
Shiny Doggy.
They say, I'm very mixed with this cover being played over the B-52s. It's like an MTV version of The Intellectual Genius at a bar flashback. And they say, I'm good, because I asked them how they're doing. I think, see here, I know I made this song. I thought, okay, it was a different song than I thought that it was, but yeah. Or maybe that was the last one. But anyways, yeah, it's weird whenever we get serious and talk about the pandemic stuff, because or just serious stuff in general on this show, because you know, I also have like little songs that I made that are just like beep doop 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 sometimes. Oh, I'm listening. Oh, they're listening to the B-52s. Yeah. Okie dokes. No worries. That's fine. That is a weird thing. Like, you're just like, and now the COVID pandemic has transformed into a new variant, and then you got like some guy going, "Love Shack, baby."
Yeah.
It's quite the
quite
the mood whiplash.
Some contrast there.
It is.
We you know, we talk about stuff, but we try to keep it fairly light.
We try to keep it pretty lighthearted, and they say, "Draw your pictures, funny man." And then they say LMFAO. Yes, you got it. So I think I nailed it.
You did.
I nailed the B-52s. Didn't they do Rock Lobster too? Wasn't that them?
They certainly did.
They did Rock. Okay, cool. What a catalog of music though. They did Love Shack. They did Rock Lobster.
That's where my knowledge of them ends.
Yeah, I think that's actually all I know that the B-52s did. I know I feel like there's one more song that they did that.
I'm sure they did plenty more, but I don't know them.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the B-52s. I'm sure they're on Spotify. I could go onto Spotify and give them a listen. My Spotify has really like. Do you do the Discover Weekly at your Spotify? Like
I do, but
for
sometimes it's been disappointing lately.
Really? Okay. I have not been disappointed with my Discover Weekly for a while.
My Discover Weekly for like I feel like a few months now has been very like. It's almost like it wants me to listen to some specific songs because it plays some of them like you suck, and then next week it suggests them again. And I'm like, stop giving me the same songs. No, do not want.
It's interesting because I've been very fortunate. I've liked pretty much every song that's come on my Spotify Discover Weekly, awesome. But like the more it's like trying to figure out what I like specifically, it's been becoming closer and closer to like I got like a elevator smooth jazz song in my list today because I do listen to a lot of jazz and things like that. So this Discover Weekly, like this week, was like, hey, do you want to listen to like this just straight up elevator music jazz? And I was just like, oh, I appreciate it, Spotify, but no thank you.
Hey, you know, it was thoughtful of you to try something new, but I'm just gonna pass on that. It's like, oh, that's cool, yeah, bro. Don't worry, I got some other stuff for it.
How about the same song next week?
Yeah, that's my. It's like, we'll wear you down. Once it becomes familiar and stuck in your head, then you'll like it.
It's also been recommending a lot of like acid funk music, like not acid funk, but like just stoner funk music. Like it really thinks I enjoy a good spacey jam, and I do. But it's just weird how like much of it this week was like very stoner.
There seems to be a theme funk to the weekly, right? Would you agree with that? Like it seems like
usually
it's like we're gonna try to give you this specific type of thing.
Yeah. It's like they're I feel like every week they pick a theme and they're just like, okay, we're gonna go with this theme for this week and let's see how much you like 80s synth pop. It says yes, it mostly carries a strong vibe. They had their caps lock on. Few people can carry such a vibe. I agree. It's hard to, some people just give off a vibe. And
that's true about people.
The B-52s have a vibe.
They have a vibe, all right.
Oh yeah.
They took a shot and it worked out for them.
It really did. Good for them. Who knew? Like I feel like their shtick is like good songs, and then also like a flamboyant man.
A lot of like weird yelling and stuff.
Yeah. It's like how the Ink Spots always have like it's like just a trio of people going like, ooh baby, I love you so, and then they'll have like the breakdown where like the guy with the deep voice would be like, oh baby, I love you so, and he just like sort of reiterates all the lyrics that they just sang. It's like
it's like very like specific. They know what they are.
They went for it.
They don't bend to what they think's gonna work. They do what they want to do. I imagine they're in the record label, like the record guy's like, I don't know if this is gonna work, man. Like, and then the other guy's like, we're fucking doing it, baby. It's like, all right,
and then,
but I just don't think it's gonna sell.
That convinced me.
Let's picture that.
We're gonna do it, baby.
I do what I want.
I feel like they always end with yeah. We're gonna do what we want. I feel like it's always like sort of asked in the form of a question, like the Love Shack baby. Like he's kind of unsure about the Love Shack.
Yeah. He's like, we're still doing this, right?
We're still figuring it out. We're sort of retooling the idea. Baby! Real quick, lol, dude, my Discover Weekly, it's like, you like synthwave and are gay. Did we do this right? Yeah, it's always trying to figure out, like, what's your niche, you know? Like, do you like... It's been giving me a lot of Japanese jazz bands, which is very interesting. A lot of, jazz bands from bands I can't even say the name of because it's in, like, hiragana.
I like to listen to, like, a mishmash of shit. So, like, that really, I think, makes it hard for my Discover Weekly to do anything effective.
Yeah, my tastes are too eclectic. I just like everything. So it's my thing's like, okay, we got it figured out. You like hip hop instrumentals. And I'm just like, oh, I like some Modest Mouse too. And then they're just, it's like, fuck, we have to rewrite everything.
You're all fired. We're starting over from scratch.
That's right. God damn it. Just when we thought we had this guy. Let's see. It's true, but be nice to the algorithm. We gotta be nice to the algorithm. We're playing catch up with the comments here a little bit, but I feel like we have to say something with every comment.
That's alright.
But oh, the B-52s are kind of punk though. John Mulaney is no punko. Oh yeah, and extra taxes. I don't know if anyone said this yet, but I saw a post on the internet that said that John Mulaney's stage persona is just the B-52s guy. That's hilarious. Do you agree with that, Brandon?
That's funny. There's definitely the voice is definitely there.
Yeah. The John Mulaney voice is very funny. I couldn't try and impersonate it if I wanted to. I'm not gonna try. Actually, I'm not gonna try and impersonate. Yeah, I can do like some, like I was doing when we were watching that Car Fuckers documentary that I was talking about last week. The one guy sounded like John C. Reilly a little bit. And I'm not saying I do a good John C. Reilly, but I was sort of like, oh, wow. This car is real. Wow. That's kind of my John C. Reilly.
You're kind of doing a Steve Brule.
That's kind of like, I mean, Steve Brule is just a very intense form of the John C. Reilly, but oh boy. Here, you do your best John Mulaney, and I'll do my best John C. Reilly, and we'll have a meeting with the Johns.
You can't force me into a celebrity.
Okay, do you want to do the B-52s? I'll do John C. Reilly meeting with the B-52s guy.
Oh my goodness. Be lots of...
Oh wow. You're the B-52s.
Your John C. Reilly just says, oh wow, a lot, huh?
Yeah. It's the same as my Owen Wilson, it's just a different inflection.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, wow. Great. Yeah. Oh, you're the B-52s.
Finally finished Loki, by the way. Oh, we got extra tech.
We got a wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. You finished Loki. What'd you think of it?
I did. I liked it, and they're making more. They kind of... I guess this probably was common knowledge, but I didn't know that, so I'm like, oh, okay. Well, much as I would have liked the story to kind of have a nice little bow on the ending, I'm okay with more Loki. I liked the show. It was fun.
So they're definitely going to do a season 2.
Yes, it like does the whole like Loki will be back in season 2 type thing.
You know what's weird? I have a bad taste in my mouth whenever TV shows or movies have that little like subtitle at the end that's just like, we'll see you again in like a year, because like every time I've seen that,
shows are wrong.
It just never happens. Like there are so many
it's almost
times
like a death sentence to suggest that.
Exactly.
But because it's like, Disney, I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that they will probably make more. It just always feels so presumptuous. It's like in the end of we had Zone Dog earlier say Rock and Rolla, and I saw that movie, the Guy Ritchie movie Rock and Rolla, and the movie ends with like, stay tuned for the sequel, The Real Rock and Rolla. Which one? It always feels cheesy if your movie is just like, wait, there's more. But also it just feels like, well, he just never made another rock and rolla because the movie didn't make a lot of money, and so like those characters are just dead in the water essentially. It just feels tacky, and it feels like a death sentence, as you said.
I feel like it's a more reasonable thing to do in like the world of streaming platforms. But when movies get it, it's like that's a bold move because like no one's even seen it yet. You put that in you edited that in before it released, and now you're like,
exactly.
We'll be back, and it's like you hope. Let's wait to see how the box office does.
It feels so presumptuous. It's just like we're definitely gonna sequel. We got a hit on our hands, folks. The producer said as much. Like why don't you wait till the movie comes out and you can make an announcement in like a magazine tabloid or something like that. I don't know. It just feels. It's just especially when it's like when a TV show like they're like, oh, we ended on a cliffhanger for the season, and then the show gets canceled, and it's just like, well, glad you ended things on a big question that I'm never gonna know the answer to now. Right.
It's like at least tie up all the arcs, and then you can start a new one next season.
Yeah. Loki ending was a little underwhelming because I assumed it was a one-season show. Oh, you just read that, yeah. Or did you read that?
I didn't read it, but I had the same opinion.
Okay. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for more of the show, but I also had expectations for them to finish the whole story like they did with their last two shows. So that's pretty much exactly how you felt.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm wondering if that's the common sentiment, is people all generally feel the same way.
And, I don't know. Marvel people might be kind of used to it.
Fair.
Like the average person. I don't know though, but like it's possible that's a common sentiment. And that's how Extra Attack felt. I felt that way, so.
But it's you know,
that's
I think,
two opinions, and that's who else's opinion even matters, anyways.
The only ones that I care about. Tiny Doggy says, now you have to put that up at the end of each of your streams. More DrawBomb next week. That's right. Well, we do plug the next week's show whenever we finish the show. So we actually do kind of do it to ourselves, don't we?
We do.
Boy, what do you got anything to plug, Brandon? Oh boy, I do this thing every week. It's fucking stupid.
We should have
it's
some
called
kind
DrawBomb.
of to be continued like hook or something. It'd be funny.
Yeah, like we should just end every episode on a cliffhanger. And we'll let you know who won this week's rock, paper, pencil next week on DrawBomb. And then we play the theme song. But maybe we'll play it all, like, it'll be a whole bunch of, like, minor notes or minor chords because, it's sort of spookier and sadder that way. So it's like,
so definitely things
what's gonna happen?
That could happen that we'll have to discuss.
Yeah, we'll have to. We have a number of ideas for how we're gonna spiff up this show. So we'll make ourselves a nice little stay tuned next week for the exciting conclusion of DrawBomb Live, and then we'll just never conclude whatever it is that we are concluding. I guess we have to get a storyline going now. So
yeah, what's canon here?
Gosh. Did you hear that the DrawBomb has been convicted of a murder? Wait, I had
the bomb man himself.
Yeah, our little mascot dude.
Wow.
How presumptuous, that's Shiny Doggy. I know, we're fucking our heads are so big. We just.
This thing's too perfect to fail at this point.
Right. And the thing is, we have been wrong before. We've been like, we'll see you next week on next week's episode of DrawBomb, and then we just don't do an episode, and we don't let anyone know that we had something come up. We are presumptuous, aren't we? We're presumptuous for, I think, expecting people to watch in the first place. Really, I think that's... Our show is a series of presumptions, all built on top of one another. Like, one is that our presumption that people would actually watch this, which... I can actually confidently say we've had at least a person here today.
A number of people. You're underselling the fine people in the chat. We got Extra Attack. We got Shiny Doggy. We got Zone Dog. We got Z Newts. We got Wamelon. We got Leviathan Den.
Leviathan Den. I think that's.
Watch
That's
me
the
just miss
comprehensive
one
list.
person in there, like.
Oh my god, I'd feel so bad.
But
If we do like a shout
love
out
you.
of everybody when we miss someone, like that feels.
That'd be horrible.
We love all of you though. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are great. You're
for humoring us.
the reason I had fun doing this. Every once in a while, fortunately, thanks to all of you, it's less common now. But every once in a while, we'll get like 1 week where there's just nobody here. They used to be a lot more common, and boy, it's a slog.
It's I wouldn't call it a slog. It's hanging out with me really so bad.
Well, I hang out with you off air, and that's different.
I know it's different when we're trying to put on a show and we're just like, hey, someone give us a prompt, and then there's just dead silence because no one's there. It hits different, but
we love you guys. Is what we're trying to say.
Shiny Doggy says you can see lurkers with big eyes, and
I don't know.
You
There
know,
might be
I've
some ways.
seen-
I feel like with my one app, I can kind of see. Let me see if I can.
Like I know there's like you can click a button to see who's in the chat, but I feel like there's always people that pop up on that list who people who don't
Aren't
pop up
actually
on that
there.
list, and yeah,
Let's
people
see.
who pop up and who aren't there.
Should
and
I
then
call out the
who don't
people
pop
that
up
on this
there.
list that are so the people that are technically in the chat that aren't talking, they might still be here. They may have left. I don't know. But at one point there was Casino Thanks, Casino Thanks. Why ain't you talking? We got Droop Dog.
What's the deal?
Droop Dog, dude, say something.
Is that because I talked about Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
Yeah, they showed
Is that
up.
because I talked about Jellystone?
like you. We got extra
Oh,
more.
I hope you're happy. Sorry, go ahead.
We got extra more, and you know what? I would like extra more comments from you, extra more, instead of sitting there in the silence. We got sad_girl. Well, you know, the fact that you're not talking is making me sad_boy.
I'm gonna tie these all back into their not commenting.
Yeah, they're like, oh god, I'll never use Twitch again. So, yeah, I don't know how well that works. But
Yeah. So I feel like I'll see that list and I'll see people who are actively commenting like right now who aren't popping up in that. So I don't know how it works. I don't know where they get their data from. Shiny Doggy says no, it's the start of a rom-com. Oh yeah, so like you lurked in my chat and I saw your name and I called you out and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't want to be a perfect. And it's like, you couldn't bother me with your commenting. I'm help me with this. Spinning my gears here.
Sorry, I wasn't really listening that closely. My apologies.
It's okay, I don't listen to anything I say.
I normally do, but I was reading the chat and then I was looking at how to draw a Goomba, and then you were like, help me. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Sorry, I don't mean to break your concentration.
No,
But help me!
I should be listening to. I normally listen to everything you say.
Look, you don't have to. Look, I talk all the time. It's
You just caught me.
half the shit I say doesn't matter.
Hey, at least I was honest about one of the few times I missed.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your candor.
Extra Attack says, oof, gotta love streaming, being like, thanks so much for watching, be sure to follow on the socials, love you, and then looking at the viewers and seeing 0. Yeah, been there. And also, they would love to lurk on a stream, but I simply cannot shut the fuck up. We appreciate it. We don't want you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I'll be on a lot of streams, and I'll be, like, there, and I'll be like, okay, don't be overzealous, Ian. Don't be, like, talking your fucking dumb head off in the chat. And then they'll say, like, wow, how are you guys doing today? And then it's all bets are off, and I'm just fucking typing the rest of, like, the 2 hours, and I'm just like, oh, every stupid thought that comes to my head. And I type it in the comments, and
whole
I
thing
feel
is, like,
annoying.
If I can
A
make
lot.
the streamer laugh, I feel validated.
Yeah, I have that too. I have that sensation a lot. I'm like, oh, just giggle at my stupid comment. make my day, please. I feel very annoying on Twitch. I feel like whenever I'm commenting, I'm like constantly just. I also like I have a hard time being concise. So like, a lot of people will comment on Twitch, and their comment will be like maybe 1 or 2 lines in the chat, and like mine are like a paragraph because I just don't know how to condense. I'm like. I have to give the full argument, and I can like I post it, and then I'm just like, oh, they're gonna read this out loud, and they're just not gonna want to have to read this whole paragraph I just typed for them. I get very
I'm sure you're not annoying.
self-conscious on Twitch.
You're.
Is that
Sure.
is that sarcasm, buddy? I can't.
No, I'm saying we're saying like all our viewers, we love like having them chat. So I'm sure the people of the streams you're on feel the same way. And Shiny Doggy is feeling personally attacked because you're describing yourself and Shiny Doggy is.
No, I'm describing me, Shiny Doggy. I'm not attacking you. That's how I feel all the time.
No, we love you all. Like say everything you want. Stream of consciousness.
Yeah, please.
Feel free.
We love all of you. We love that you comment, and we love that you're even here because otherwise we're talking to an empty room, and that's just like it's like putting on a magic show for your dog. You know, I feel like that's like a trope I see in TV shows. Is like they have the cape and there's just like a dog in the chair. And it's like everyone went to my shows. I know. I'm just saying. I think we can all agree that to some extent we're all probably socially aware of ourselves more than we'd like to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to like stop the self. The self. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean, though. Sometimes it's hard to turn that off.
Self-awareness or
the self-awareness.
It's like overly aware. It's like not even realistic. Some of the things you stress out about yourself.
Yeah, it's like me being like, oh god, am I being annoying? And they're just like not even thinking about me. They're just like too busy streaming and like reading the chat occasionally. Like it's I think we think about ourselves a lot more than anybody.
That is pretty much a good rule of thumb. It's true.
Shiny Doggy, okay, so Shiny Doggy says, wow, dogs deserve magic, which I think is fair. Dogs do deserve magic. Every dog is valid.
I think you need to do sleight of hand tricks for a dog. That's the only kind of magic they appreciate, I think. Card related tricks, do love that. I don't think they're into.
Yeah. I do love those when the person like they do the blanket trick, you know, the blanket trick with the dog where they like
where you run away.
And the dog's just like, what the fuck, where'd they go? It's a lot of fun to mess with the dogs. Because they just forget like 5 seconds later.
They don't understand like object permanence.
Yeah.
Things of that nature.
And they also can't.
Or maybe they do to the point.
They can't really get traumatized.
That's not true. Yeah, maybe. But
I mean, dogs can be traumatized. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's like the blanket trick's gonna traumatize a dog.
No, I don't think they're that easily traumatized unless you just never come back to them.
Yeah, it's true. And then the dog's just like, that was the last time I ever saw my owner.
Blankets are dangerous as hell.
It's been an infinite period of time. It's been 2 weeks, okay, but it still feels like a very long time.
2 weeks in dog years. That's a good amount.
It's at least 2 dog years. I would love to put on a magic show for my dog. Jasper would lose his fucking mind. And then Shiny Doggy says, are you anti-dog magic? Cancelled. And then extra text says, we're canceled immediately because we're anti-dog magic. Are you anti-dog magic? I want to get your stance on this.
I am pro-dog magic.
Whoa.
I support.
Okay, you've heard it here.
I support magic for dogs.
Do you cucumber your cat? Have you cucumbered your cat?
My adult cat is unfazed by cucumbers.
Interesting.
I haven't tested it on. Oh, really?
I heard. So like, I was just saying like, oh, you can't traumatize a dog with the blanket trick, but I heard like the cucumber thing with your cat is supposed to be traumatizing for your cat because I guess maybe cats are a bit more sensitive than dogs. I don't quite know.
So what? They think it's a snake? Is that the idea?
Yeah, they think it's like a snake in the house or something like that, and that's why they freak the hell out. Which, I mean, good on them for having the reflexes for that, you know, that's probably...
Cat doesn't care about cucumbers at all.
Good for your cat. Your cat's fully domesticated.
I have not... Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's more of an evolutionary thing, but still, my cat's never been introduced to a snake in its existence, so... Your
cat just reminds me of royalty, just with how floofy he is and like his face shape. He looks like a Renaissance painting of royalty. if it were a cat. Like the cat form of that. Like the cat, like, you know those like paintings where it's like the whole family standing there and their hands are just like, and someone's like laying on one of those like ornate couches. Your cat is, you're like the cat version of one of those paintings.
It's probably eating grapes or something.
Yeah, exactly. Tiny Doggy says, reveal the cat if you want to post up a picture of Theo real quick.
I'll grab
Or
the cat.
Oh yeah, if you want to grab Theo, like, you can do that.
Yeah, give me a minute. I'll grab him. I know we're going a little bit over, but I'm cool finishing this drawing if you are.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm almost done too.
We spent so long trying to think of a prompt that it's only fair.
Yeah, we spent most of our show thinking of what to draw. We're just like, anyone got any ideas? And then everyone gives us an idea, and then we're like, okay, but
like
none
that.
of those, but... Yeah.
No, we appreciate the ideas. I mean, we will shoot
We
some
do.
of them down, obviously, but still.
They jog our memory. They help.
I do like when we watch that Cody Shibi stream.
Cody Shabby?
I like the way he does prompts. Sometimes people just add words, and then you get like make something from like a list of words. I can see we should try that sometime. I think.
Try that. We're stealing everyone's stream ideas. Why not?
Well, I mean,
you know,
I don't
add it
think
to the list.
he's the first one to do that either. I've seen it before. I just think that's a good way to keep things vague, and also it's not too much to ask to just have somebody in the chat throw out a random word.
True. And we can always pick and choose the words that we don't like, which might actually be opening a can of worms of again.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just have to like go with we have to do the word combo we get. But I'm real quick catch up on the chat. Hello,
Yes.
Mr. Twitch. I need one cancel. Oh man, that's we've been canceled.
How many bits does that cost?
Yeah, how many bits is it to cancel us? That's how many channel points. You know, you get double the channel points if you subscribe. So you know, make sure you put in those bits to cancel my ass. I demand to see Mr. Twitch. I know he's here. I demand to speak to Twitch's manager.
I think he's in space right now.
He is in space right now. With wearing a dumbass fucking cowboy hat. Laughing like a goof. And Extra Tack also says, then you have to speak out against Ian. Oh yeah, if you are for dog magic and I'm anti-dog magic, you gotta come out against me now. We have to have beef.
Why do you think? Why don't you believe that dogs deserve the joys of magic? It's
not that I'm saying the dog doesn't deserve magic. I'm just saying the kid is probably very sad that the dog is the only person who's watching the show. The kid's like, man, I learned my best card trick, and fucking all I've got here is Sparky. Sparky doesn't even know like, I asked Sparky if this was their card. Sparky doesn't even know the difference between like Queen of Diamonds.
So if the kid is upset about this, am I to believe there was an audience that left when he started, or did he start? I mean, it's not like the dog asked him to perform magic for it.
That's fair, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess,
don't blame your audience because they're not what you hoped they would be.
Why isn't anyone in my Twitch right now? You fucking guys suck. Shit. No, I guess, I don't know. I guess, when I think of, like, I don't know why it's a trope in my head of a kid doing magic for a dog. Am I just conjuring that out of nowhere, or is that like an actual trope that happens?
Like, that's a thing I've seen. I don't know. I can't think of any specific examples.
I cannot name a specific example to save my life, so I don't know. I feel like it's usually whenever they like, it's like, Greg was the one who wanted to be in show business, and then it shows like the character Greg, and he's got like a cape on, and he's got a dog in a chair. And the magic.
Well,
I feel like
you
anytime
start with whatever audience you can get.
Yeah, you gotta work your way up. Like, we worked our way up from 0 viewers to
only dogs, and now we have people.
Yeah, now we have people. Yeah, before we were just performing for our cats.
Oh yeah, that reminds me, I have to reveal the cat.
Go get your cat. Get your cat, dog.
I'll go get the cat, dog.
Going to the world with the little cat dog. Cat dog. Cat dog. Alone in the world with a little cat dog. Gosh. You know, what was funny is that Brandon can still hear me. Actually, I can just talk shit on him right now, and he'll come back and be like, "Hey." You know, whew. What can I talk about? Brandon's getting the cat right now. The cat's name is Theo. I actually did a ink drawing of Theo. I mentioned how Theo reminds me of Renaissance, like, aristocracy. I did draw Theo in, like, knight's armor.
That is also royalty. I think it's because he has, like, this mane going on. He was sleeping. He was sleeping when I grabbed him, and he was not happy to be grabbed. I was taking him off his tree, and as I was pulling him away, he reached out for his tree, like no.
No!
So, here he is. He's looking off screen because he's thinking about ways to get to his cat tree. No, he's a good boy.
Back in the tree.
He's gigantic. He's like 15 pounds, so he's heavy.
He's gotten so big since when I saw him most recently, like, he's so much bigger than when I first hung out with him.
Yeah. He's big.
Big boy.
Alright, I'm gonna let him go now.
Yeah, don't let him go. Oh my god, he's so cute! Oh, he's completely... I love when you get a cat or an animal and they just, like, fucking, like, give up and they're just in your arms. It's so cute to me.
He's pretty good about that. He lets us mess around with him a little bit.
He's a friendly cat. Like, he's shy at first, but once he remembers you or once he gets to know you, you know, he'll be your best friend. Like,
he's gotten a little shyer with strangers as he's gotten older, but he's pretty chill. And I think he lets us mess around with him because we sign the agreement that as soon as he wants to be, like, let go, we do it. So
yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah, as long as if you don't torture your cat, they like you more.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Yeah. And then we have a kitten now too, but she's still getting used to everything. She was feral when we found her outside, so
yeah,
that's a whole process. So I'm not going to grab that right now because she's probably hiding somewhere.
You can still call her Kelly, you know. That's a car-related name.
Yeah, we found her in a van, a broken down van. She was like a couple weeks old. She was like up inside the inner workings, and so I was trying to think of car-related names. We went with Teddy because the place that we found her at is called Ted's Service Center. It's like a car place. But, you know, originally it was Ted because we thought it was a boy, and then it turned out it was a girl, so
yeah.
now it's Teddy.
It's cute. My one friend who I visited in Philly, they've got a cat, and it's got like, I don't want to call it, I feel like I don't want to call it Andy Milonakis syndrome, because I know there's a real name for it or whatever, but she also doesn't have that. But anyways, she is like a forever kitten. Like, she just looks, she's got a tiny body, she just looks like a fucking kitten all the time. And she's so cute.
So she looks like younger than she is.
Yeah, she's like 13, she looks like a kitten.
Oh wow.
Yeah, cool. She's adorable. She's so freaking cute. Her name's Kitty, because she's just been a kitten forever.
It's a good name.
Yeah. And then they actually just got they got like a Siamese a couple years ago, I want to say. Like right before the pandemic, they got a new Siamese kitten. And he's real pretty. His name's Pinky. Because he's kind of got like a pink like color to his fur. Like you know how like Siamese, they have like the sort of mask going on, and then like the rest of their body's like white. He's kind of that, but like the white fur of the rest of his body is very pink in hue. So they call him Pinky. He's cute. He's very shy though. He's like he started, like, we were there for like maybe 2 hours the most recent time, and like he sort of came out and like was exploring around during the second hour. But you know, the moment you got up from your chair and like moved even a little bit, he was just like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Some cats are a little skittish.
Yeah.
Hopefully this kitten will warm up. I think she will. But it's been a process so far.
The pictures you've seen have been absolutely adorable.
Yeah, she's already a million times better than, obviously when we found her when she was never been around a person before.
Right.
So, we're making progress. She actually gets fixed tomorrow, so she'll probably be mad at me.
Oh. Good thing you're doing that sooner rather than later, because, whoo boy, when my ex, when I was living with her and we adopted Boston, she did not get him fixed for almost a full year. And during that period of time where it was just like, you should get him fixed, but we weren't because she didn't want to take him to the vet, he just peed all over my whole life.
Yeah, I don't want that.
If you can avoid that, I would highly recommend it, because
I'm going to attempt
I've had to throw some shit out.
Comments, Shiny Doggy says, "Aw, warm baby." Yes. True. Extra text says, "OMG, such a babe." Yes, also true.
Yes.
Shiny Doggy says, I want him. No. Sorry. May not.
And then Shiny Doggy says, gross, and I think that's in reference to being
the pee.
on. Yeah, it was terrible, man. Like, I would be like on the computer working on art, and the cat would just like come on, like, you sit in a chair, and you got like that area between the chair and where your legs are meeting the floor, and he would just like come right in there and then just pee on my legs. And I was just like,
oh man, the disrespect. Not even just on stuff, he'd do it to you.
Yeah, no, it was very disrespectful, but also like the sensation was not pleasant. You can imagine, just like,
try not to.
Oh, my legs are soaking wet now. This is great. I love it. I have to go to work tomorrow.
Well,
yeah, it's.
Hopefully you take a shower before work.
Oh, I do, but I mean,
cat pee incident.
100%, but also just like sometimes I'd be like wearing my work clothes still. And,
yeah, brutal. And cat pee, well, it's a bit pungent.
It is. It tends to linger, tends to stick around in the nostrils.
We have a ton of houseplants here, so that was a challenge getting the new kitten to not, think that's a bathroom, but she seems to have it down now. Aw.
I'm glad. Can you do me a favor real quick? Can you change the layer EN2 to a multiply layer at 50%?
What'd you say?
Can you change the layer EN2 to multiply at 50%?
Done.
Perfect, thank you.
Alright, the kitten is here. I'm going to attempt to grab her.
Oh! Now you're gonna get to see little Teddy. Kelly. That's what I'm calling her. And then while he's doing that, I'm gonna draw the Cloud Mario guy. I think his name is Lakita. Lakita.
I might get clawed because the cat will change its mind at certain times. But here's the new one. Little Teddy.
Oh, they looked right into the camera too. Teddy's adorable. I love Teddy's patterns. Like, Teddy's got like a very distinct, like, patterns on their fur.
She's cool. She's like kind of tabby, but she's got like little spots like on her belly.
Yeah, it's like a jaguar print sort of thing.
Yeah, she's teeny. Okay, I'm gonna let her down now.
Yeah, she's meowing. I can see her going, like, her opening her mouth.
She didn't run off. She's literally sitting right down here now, just staring at me. But she does still claw occasionally. So when she wants to go, you'll let her go.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the stream, but like, and it's not like it's a big scar, but I do have a scar on my upper lip. It shows up sometimes more prominently than other times, but it's like right here. It's pretty tiny.
Okay.
But it's like back when, like, my family found, like, a long time ago, before like I went to high school and stuff. My family found a cat was living in our shed. And her name was Domino, and she was pretty friendly. So we actually set up a bed and like a food spot in the in the sheds that we could like take care of the cat. So the cat just hung around and lived with us then for like the rest of her life, and she had like little babies from like one of the other neighborhood cats, and we ended up taking care of those kittens. And then the one time the cats were lost for like a couple days, and we were like, we should probably like fucking find those kittens because they should not be missing like for 3 days. So I went looking and I eventually found them, and like we had like a corn maze, not like a corn maze, it was like a wheat field sort of thing next to like in the neighborhood, sort of like next to the neighborhood. So I found them and I brought the cats home, and then the one cat that was particularly like independent, she like I was like bringing her home, just trying to get her back to like the shed so she could eat food.
Right.
And then she just like bit me on the mouth, and I started bleeding a lot, and then I've had a scar there ever since. And it's not like a very big scar, but it's funny because sometimes people will be like, oh my god, you have a little scar on your lip, and I'll say, yeah, it's super manly how I got it too, like it's so cool, like I got it like fighting a dude, and it's actually like a little baby kitten bit me on the mouth.
I was fighting a dude. It was a cat, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
there's
were
some
like,
guys
no,
I'd
no.
rather fight than a cat. Cats can be assholes.
Cats can be jerks, but you know what? They're worth it because they're so freaking cute.
Yeah, they're fun. This turned into
Love cats.
apparently once you pass the 10 o'clock hour on the show, it becomes cat talk.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
I forget. Have you listened to Car Talk ever on NPR?
I haven't. I don't know. I don't know if I ever have.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm thinking like Car Talk, but like the Car Talk guys, but it was with cats, and like, hey, welcome to Cat Talk. Here we are with we got Brandon here. We're talking cats. Okay. We got a first call from our viewers.
I would never say
Car Talk.
I wasn't always a like super cat person, but I don't know. They happened.
They win you over after a while, don't they?
They do. I think I was always more of a dog person, but then once I like moved out and like had my own house and I had to take care of everything, a dog's too much work right now. I imagine I'll get one eventually, but that'll be later.
Sure.
So cats are good. They're a good fit right now.
I grew up a cat person, but then again, I think my parents just got a cat first, or got cats first because they are easier to take care of, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm still a cat person. We do have dogs here, and I do love playing with those dogs. I mean, I like animals in general.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
Yeah. Like if I had a pet bear, I'd be like, I'm a bear person, But I remember the one time, like when we got our first dog, I was in middle school, I want to say, and like mom was like, okay, I'm gonna pick you up from school. We're gonna do some shopping real quick. We have some groceries we gotta get, etc., etc. So we do that, and then I'm like, hey, we're in the dog aisle. I just want to let you know, mom, we're here, and like we're getting like dog food and shit. And then I was just like, I'd like the gears turned.
Mom.
No, I'm so confused. But then like the gears were turning, and I was just like, you got a fucking dog, didn't you? And she was like, yes. Don't tell your father. And then he came home to a surprise.
How'd your dad react?
I mean, I'm sure he was thrilled because he likes animals too. It was a shock for sure. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, shouldn't this be like a family decision? Like at least between the two people who run the household.
I mean, you get to hang out with that dog for like 10 to 15 years now, so ideally.
I think that the situation and how it always plays out is you see the dog at the place and you're just like, oh shit, well I'm getting this dog now. Yeah. Everyone's just gonna have to figure something out, and that's kind of how it played out.
I mean, the whole kitten thing, I wouldn't have gotten a second cat anytime soon. It's just we kind of rescued it, so that was that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy we got it, but I just wouldn't have. My main fear was just like getting one that wouldn't fit well with us and the other animal, and so now that part is going fine, pretty much all my fears are squashed about that.
Nice. Actually, I had a friend, or I would call him more of an acquaintance, but like I knew them briefly, but they just mailed me a vinyl because they were like, hey, we're gonna mail a vinyl out to someone who has like the best story about social media. And I told them about the time that like I found a cat outside my apartment in Philly, so I used a Facebook group to find somebody to adopt the cat in like the next couple hours, and so they sent me like a dope ass vinyl in a cardboard box over there.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
pretty
if
cool.
you want, I can
like,
show it real quick since you're playing
Sure.
show and tell. I might as well. But what are you saying?
It's pretty cool what you can do with like the internet with all that stuff, with pets and things like that, and getting help and tracking down new owners, or even like a lost cat. Find their home. pretty
Yeah, a
easily
lost cat,
nowadays.
and I thought this cat was so friendly. I thought it was lost too, but then like,
Who knows? Maybe it was.
as far as we knew, like when the person took it to the vet, it wasn't microchipped or anything like that.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, anyways, the vinyl, it's actually a pretty deluxe packaging. I was surprised, but so, like this is the cover of the vinyl, but as you can see, it's actually like it got a cutaway cover
What's the
on the inside.
album?
I haven't listened to it. I don't have anything that plays vinyl.
Oh, okay. Do you know like
but,
what artist it is? Or?
I know. Okay, so I think the guy the acquaintance who I knew, I think they did one of the songs off of the album. This is the guy right here.
Cool.
Their name is Jake from the Timeline. At least their artist name is.
Okay.
And it comes with, by the way, this fun little pamphlet that shows you all the tracks I believe that are on the album. With the lyrics and like a little statement about what the song is about and like things like that. Came with this little packet of stickers. Very trippy, very Tool cover with all the eyes. And then the last part that I think is worth showing. Well, also it came with like a nice little handwritten note by the guy who sent it to me, just thanking me for, giving them a nice little story to read and engaging positively with them on social media instead of toxic bullshit. The back, by the way, very cool cover and stuff like that.
Yeah, looks cool.
And then the vinyl itself, I'm not gonna take it out of the packaging, but look at that.
Wow.
The vinyl looks like, yeah.
Like that.
That's nice. Very cool. I love when they do like colored vinyl or just like,
Me too.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's a nice thing about like vinyl packaging is you can really do something deluxe like this. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the convenience of having streaming and all that good stuff. And I think it's cool that Spotify will even play like short animations or like the music video on certain songs that have it set that way. But I don't know. I don't think anything really quite beats just the presentation of like a nice, just big ass fucking like tome looking.
Yeah, it's almost like you get like an art piece in your
Yeah.
just like for each specific album. It's kind of fun. All right, I am done with my Wrestle and Luigi.
I'm pretty good with mine too.
Okay, nice. I like it.
Yeah, I think I just ended up drawing Captain Lou Ferrigno.
I don't know if we have enough.
That's a Captain Lou Albino. Captain Lou Ferrigno played the Incredible
The Hulk.
Captain Lou Albino played Mario in Super
Okay.
Mario Brothers Super Show.
Got it. Oh, Zone Dog did one as well.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Zone Dog
If you did 'em,
participated.
throw them in the DrawBomb along spot
Yeah,
on our
please.
Discord, and we will show it off. We'll wait for Zone Dogs before we go off the air. If anybody else did one, put it in there. And even if you're not done yet and you're working on it, put it in there anyways. We'll show it next week for sure.
Yeah. As we did with Zone Dog's Conan. I mean, that was 2 weeks later, but look, okay. I'll mark it as unread when I see it, so then that way it's. Wamelon says I'm back. Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, you are.
You're back for the end of it.
For the end of the show. Zone Dog is. We did obviously the Super Mario Wrestling Brothers. And Zone Dog's about to post their finished drawing.
Awesome.
Also, just real quick, while we wait for Zone Dog, Extra Attack posted this in the Talk About the Show. That's right, I read that too. And with the caption,
I just saw that too.
BM Chap's family photo with his cat. So that's hilarious. I love that. I'm just so many questions about this picture.
Whoa. Zone Dog killed it.
Oh my God, Zone Dog. Jesus.
Let's show that off. I think we vote for Zone Dog.
Yeah.
This is Zone Dog's.
Here, I'm gonna delete this. There we go.
That's beautiful. That's a work of art right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's too big to post in the draw pile.
I like. Wamelon
That's
says
fantastic.
those look sick. Yeah, and then looking at Zone Dog says, "Yo, it looks amazing." Yes, I agree. I like that it looks physically painful to shoot the egg out, and also it looks like it's propelling him. I like a lot of things that are happening here.
I like to think that Yoshi, as a wrestler, still has like these two Mario brothers. I imagine their wrestling voices are like, "Oh yeah, Luigi, I'm gonna take you down." Oh my God!
This one's
Yoshi!
how did I do?
That was actually I'm better than I thought you would be able to do. That was impressive.
I like the arms and the legs on Yoshi. They're so defined. There's a lot of exertion happening. Well done.
This is definitely
beautiful.
like a Yoshi that rides bike, you know?
Yeah.
You got the defined quads.
Yeah.
that Yoshi was impressive. You're gonna have to pull that out more often.
That's a beautiful Yoshi right there.
Beautiful Yoshi.
Great. Yeah, if anybody else has them, make sure you post them, and we'll show them off in next episode. Yeah. But for now, I think we're done. We'll put this, instead of doing a poll now, I'm thinking we'll throw this up in the Discord, have people can vote there, and then we can also do it on Twitter like we normally do. What do you think?
Yeah, you can.
Or should we do it?
Yeah, we'll post it up in the Discord and the Hall of Pencils, and you can emoji. Like, you know how you can do reactions on Discord? Reaction one way or the other, and your vote, like, I don't know what they would be.
I feel it feels wrong having people vote for either of ours after seeing Austin's. It's just.
I know. I feel like that one wins, but.
It's good stuff.
Well, I'll set 2 of the reaction things, and it should be pretty obvious which one is me, which one's Brandon, and you react to whichever one you vote for, and we'll just count up who has the most reactions. If there's any votes to count, you know, who knows?
Yeah. Sounds great
gosh,
to me.
What a whirlwind of an episode this has been, though, right?
It was a good one. We had a lot of people in the chat. I appreciate it. Makes it very fun for us, as I said. So thanks for watching.
Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it.
Tune in next week for more DrawBomb.
Stay tuned for the continuing adventures of DrawBomb.
DrawBomb will return next week.
That's right.
Season 2.
Do you have anything to plug?
No, besides that, that's all I got. What about you?
DrawBomb at 8 p.m. Eastern time every Monday, unless we get bored or do something else.
Sounds about right to me.
Alrighty, and thank you all so much. We love you all, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Fail one, fight.